fire worshippers. Abraham followed Abraxas, Sax, priests, honorable and hollow words. Same word, sages of the ages, and prophets, Coptic, Gnostics, and apostles heard. And those sinning unfinished, now it's written in the ribbon, and held by 4 swallow birds. Beneath Abraxas practice, in the blackness, seance, each one of my classics. Burn a candle to Anu with bottle myrrh, and Quetzalcoatl and herbs. Priest the novel in the marble been her. A gold icon of Basilides of Alexandria. They sold to Italy from a palace out in Zambia. Stole from Sicily, Africa towers over Pangea. Amateur, reaching for my pleroma. Deep sleep and yoga. Psyches like the Pisces of Jonah. Tertullian, till I get the nutrients and come out a Nubian. I'm not talking about the ancient Natufians or hooligans when I'm putting out something new again. Let LF tell her death. Me, I'm an embellish on the angelic. Holding the mic like a relic. Last one left. Priest and purpose. Leaving footprints deep in the surface. Enough to be called a crater. Meditating in the Tibetan hall in Asia. We all evolved from nature. The ink shooting out my pen like flaming balls hitting my paper. I grab the dark horns of archons and star forms. The bars drawn to give you Mars floors to walk on. Epiphanius, Arrhenius, Hippolytus, sit by fire, different writers sniffing coke. Who's the most highest? Baptizer, Holy Ghost. Santa Morte, Bantam and all gray. Stands in the hallway, head of a ramp with hands on your grave. Purpose, let the chords play. Priest never had an off day. Never let my sword lay, so all pray. Work from the bottom like Noah. Meditate, I slip into a coma till I reach my pleroma. That men build. See a sphinx from the ink my pen spilled. Auric fields, links with the Torah and 4 of the seals. Then 3 more revealed. That makes 7 the heavens. Broke open with omens. Peasants begging the savages. Chariots, horses and wheels. Over corpses left in the hills. Is in Lil Shaitan, the serpent administrator to Israel. Was Enkidu the one with the fruit that spoke in Hebrew? Or was he Jesus too? Trees in the garden was 2. Was the oldest teacher Sophia? Ishtar, Easter. Reminisce, the feminine. Stars over Giza. The power of the ether. Tiamat, the rulers with the G on top. The woman has a G-spot. The skeleton Kia locks. Who spoke to Moses as the burning bush? Mistaken as a pharaoh, so that confirmed his looks. The beginning of these pharaohs, a lot concerning Cush. Who's this person in the book? His brothers was Mizraim, Canaan, and Put. Mizraim became the land of black soot, or bitterman. Became Kemet throughout millenniums. Gideons to the Bosnians, tribes and Indians from the Americans. Our true inheritance, Lajit with the seraphims. Concerning Canaan, Naphtali explaining. She's like the X-File in training, a death trial and arraignment. When they buried the Nazarene, after 3 days he rose and exposed himself to Mary Magdalene. Task force to cross skull and bones and blasphemy. Killah Priest, the unknown source, Abraxas king. In the craft for, of course, taking the path unseen, but never lost, using my thoughts to make my math supreme. With the atom beam made of quartz, cloudy, I had it clean. They asked me, what's the meaning of Rebus? Is it a demon or secret? Romulus or Remus? Once bondage it was free with itself and bonded with kingship. The beast lurks amongst the nation's majority. USA means under Satan's authority. Morally, they try to do what to read horribly. Brainwash his queen, bring the starseed prophecy. Return of the reign of King Nabu Shuma Ishkun, descendant of Nakuru, the princess of the voodoo. Babylon's new kings rule part 2. Hieroglyphs, myth of Adapa. Sit with the scholars, scripts of Kabbalah. Sister Tala gifted with powers. They said, how does he exist? It is different from ours. The beast is coming. Some at the summit submitting to Allah. Quran and bleeding palms. Some with the Bible reading Psalms. Disciples and their rivals squeezing arms. Egyptian book of the dead. The beast looking through 7 heads. Tribulation, revelation, the great dragon is red. All flesh will cook from a beach is what John said. The globe spinning wobbly. UFOs, Anunnakis, soul for bodies. Code of Hammurabi. Sumerian tablets. Hamlet. Numerian magic. Barbarian axis. Atlantis sunk in our planet. Shiva. Bhagavad Gita. Blocks for the readers. Mosques for the seekers. Synagogues for the leaders. The cow and bull in the midst of the clouds stood a man called the Lamb, clothed with the rainbow, holding the Talmud. Mahabharata. Copper, serpents and nagas. Dalai Lamas. Virgins, turbans and mantras. Unholy sermons while the servants worship the monster. The Indian invaders meditating when we in nature. Then I put my pen to paper, then descended to vapor. Only to be heard through wind and smelled through savors. And felt through gins and cells that labor. Recognized through spells and wise tales from neighbors. King Hezekiah destroyed a winged serpent of fire. Angelic creatures described by his writers. Edom, evil empire. Falls in the chapters of Obadiah. Destroyed by Jehovah Messiah. He rolls down the stream peaceful. He's from the winged people. Ladies and gentlemen, we build on topics, whether conscious or cosmic. It's never nonsense, mega levels or microscopic. It's a Killah Priest project, AD control the rocket. Before we land the plane, many things we engage and explain. The unexplained, without mask. Welcome to the Killah Priest podcast. Killah Priest podcast.
Mic check 212. Mic check 212. Yeah. What's good? Welcome to the show. Y'all already know what's happening. It's gonna be a wild night tonight. Sunday fun day. Yes, sir. I'm AD Ross holding it down temporarily. We got a guest joining us right now. So we're gonna get the show off and popping right now. What's good with y'all? Hope y'all doing good. We got the active chat room right there. We're bringing on our guest right now. Yes, sir. Oh, we got two guests? Oh, word. Oh, it's going to be one of them shows. It's just one of them things.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. How you doing? I'm getting y'all set up. We are doing this live. Y'all know how we do. Let me get it going. Oh, wait. You turned off your camera.
Did he already see your presentation? You want me to send to you?
Sending me a what?
The presentation?
You have a presentation?
Yes, sir, we do.
Oh, you guys are teamed up?
Oh, it's going down today.
Oh, word. Oh, it's going to be on and popping.
This is one for the books, baby.
Oh, man, that's cool. That's cool. Man, good energy this week. Good energy this week. All right.
Wild week, man.
Yes, sir. I'm getting y'all set up right now. What's happening? CrumbTV in the building. Also getting set up with the clean green screen.
Did he email you? Or should I email you?
I'm gonna check the email right now. If it's in the email, I'll check that out right now. But I mean, usually we do a share, and then Crumb would have able to do the presentation from there. Otherwise,
on StreamYard?
No, right here on Zoom. I just hit the share right here, and then usually CrumbTV will just.
I can just show it. I got it on my end. I don't know if he got it.
Yeah, let me unshare.
Is he there? I'm trying to communicate. Crumb, can you hear me?
Right. Yeah, he's right there.
You got the presentation? You got that under handle?
Yeah.
Background together real quick.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna unshare on my end because I always be sharing on this end. But let's just go ahead and set up. We're gonna set up presentation mode. So I'm gonna stop my share.
We are here for a good old Sunday.
Yes, sir. Sunday fun day.
Baptize the people with the truth.
Like that, man. I can't wait to hear.
Not the truth, but the truth. The truth behind the myth.
Truth.
See, we come to demystify the lie. You feel what I'm saying? They take the truth and make it a mystery and put it in front of you. Until somebody cracks the code and says, wait, hold on.
Okay.
This is what's being said. I'm gonna tell you why they do that, because they can't erase the truth from your DNA. So the best bet is to just mix it up. So when you encounter it, you're like, oh no, that's that. You feel me?
Okay.
Oh, that's the. I heard about
Truth.
that.
TROOF. Truth.
Yeah, nobody cares about giants. Nobody cares. Leprechauns, angels. You know what I'm saying? By giving you a misunderstanding of them, you can't understand them once you come amongst it or realize it.
Okay. I mean, I feel like everybody knows about the giants. We have a very profound audience.
What do they know about them?
They know they existed.
But how do they know? Because they saw some cartoons and just say, I believe that.
No, I mean, with the profound audience that Priest has, I think everyone kind of knows that giants existed at least. There's still speculation on the dinosaurs. Some still believe in dinosaurs. Some do not.
And where you think people think giants come from? Probably like big black people from Africa or something like this.
I mean, we did have giant statues. And we do have more bones, evidence of archaeological findings of giant bones than we do actual, pterodactyls and stuff like that. They would find giant bones and say, "Oh, this is a dinosaur bone." Well, no. That's the hamstring leg of a giant, So they would. I feel like they would always try to cover up the giants and distract us and go towards the dinosaur theory.
1,000%.
But I'm not trying to go in like that. Let's get you all set up for the presentation. Okay, so we got the chat room going, and then whenever you guys are ready to share, Crumb, did you want to start sharing now, or?
Sure, yeah, that's fine.
We can go right into presentation mode, however y'all want to do it. But the floor is yours. Yours. I was trying to say y'all and yours at the same time, and I said yours.
So yeah, we about to go all the way in. You understand me?
Yeah, man.
Remember the movie Avatar, right?
Okay, you going in like that?
No, I'm just saying it talks about a lot of these things.
You can't wait. You trying to go right in? You trying to jump right into chapter 4?
Is it chapter 4?
You feel me?
I'm still getting my sound effects ready.
Yeah, please get them ready, because it's for sure going down.
I mean, CrumbTV is the master student, and he's also the master host. So I'm just gonna give.
I would even add in master teacher.
Yes, sir, master teacher. All that. I'm just gonna give the floor to CrumbTV, and y'all can take it from there.
Well, welcome everybody on the Killah Priest podcast to Sunday presentation. We will baptize you in this holy blue.
And he's frozen.
Water.
There you go.
So far out the box, I don't even.
You may need to increase your connection. CJ. Because you're coming in a little choppy.
Yeah, I think he froze altogether.
Okay, let's see. Yep, let me get his frozen ass right there. There he is. Damn, where is my sound effects? Oh, I see what's happening. Okay. Gonna go like this, gonna go like that. Boom. Got you on the top left. Little chat room action. Bragadino in the building. Conscious Connect. 99 Cham 1. Yes, sir. Aurora Borealis. Eric Ramsey. 99 Cam, I cannot reveal or disclose where Priest is at the moment because I don't know. Let's see. Check 1, 2. Okay. Hmm. Crumb, you good?
Yeah, just tell me when you're ready and I'll George Bush the button.
Oh, George Bush, that shit.
Okay, all right, all right, all right, all right. Peace and love to the family. Peace and love to the chat. Peace and love to uh, the master teacher, Killah Priest. Much respect to AD, the right hand man,
Yeah.
A1 since day one.
Hey.
Much love to the Podcraft. I see you. I love you. I appreciate you. And put some respect on my brother's name. It's Killah Priest and I'm sorry, excuse me, Crip Jesus in the building. Family, I want to ask if we could please, please, please smash that like button on your way in. I'm humbled. I'm honored. I'm grateful. Okay, so with that said, this measure, this PowerPoint is it is about the land of the giants, where we're going to break down, decode, explain the realm of giants and how we fit into that. No pun intended. I'm sorry about that. I just want to. There we
Yeah.
go. Sorry about that.
You
All right.
good?
So with that said, what I try my best to do is give it to you in a way that you can understand. And what we do is we'll explain it first and foremost through the movie Avatar. I wanted to ask the listening audience, if you have seen the movie Avatar, press 000. If you have seen the movie Avatar, please press 000. I believe we're all on the same page. But with that said, even if you're not, hopefully you can follow through with that. There we go. King Ellis in the building. All right. So in the movie Avatar, the Navi tribe were giants. That's basically 2 times the size of a human. On the far left, you're going to see Mark Wahlberg. I think he's like 5'6" or whatever the case may be. Then The Rock, then Yao Ming, then you're going to see an Avatar, one of the people from the Navi tribe. So you have an idea of how big they are. Next, King L, please feel free to jump in at any point in time, please and thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mark-
I just wanted.
Mark Wahlberg is
wanted
5'8". I just wanted to mention that.
Keep me honest.
I wanted to mention that in my book, The Blue Bible, this is really what I get into real deep. It's not like blue about cripping or none of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I show the connection, but I just wanted to let people know that's not a cartoon thing. You feel what I'm saying? You can find many traditions, like you said, the Navi, the Naga, the Naji, you feel what I'm saying? And they're all blue. You feel what I'm saying? Even to the Smurfs. You know what I'm saying? It's a spiritual thing going back far east and far southeast, like India, Southeast Asia. You'll see they put the Hindu gods blue. You see what I'm saying? So this has to do with earlier people in the more of a more liquid form, let you know, without the meat and so on.
Well said. AD, I have moved the screen a little. There you go.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. Sorry about
I'm
that.
fixing it up right now.
Okay. All right. So with that said, not only did we have Mark Wahlberg, who was actually 5'8", please excuse me, The Rock, Yao Ming, and the Avatars, which you can kind of see how they all size up. You're going to see the Africans from the, let's say, 18th century standing beside a British man. And you can kind of see them with their turbans, their fezzes, and their looming stature. And even as big as these men were of those times, they still did not match up. They came out shoulder length, even at that astounding height. But I digress. So with that said, since we just talked about those men over in Africa, Crip Jesus,
Mhm.
did you want to tap in?
So yeah, this goes in more to what I'm talking about now. If I'm not mistaken, it's not just Africa. So it's Mauritania, right? If I'm not mistaken, that the exact picture, because that would explain the Islamic dressing. You feel what I'm saying? Mauritania is a Muslim country. Now, the people of Mauritania, we're talking about Islam, right? So let's go to Arab scholars. Let's not, a lot of times people go to Muslim scholar. No. Let's look at this culturally, right? So Ibn Khaldun, recounting the oral traditions prevalent in his day, sets down two popular opinions as to the origin of the Berbers. So when you're dealing with Mauritania, Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, and even Egypt, that whole entire North Africa from east to west, you're dealing with the people known as Berber. Since they've got a flag and all that now, they call them Amazigh, right? And there's a lot of debate over who's the original Amazigh, who's the indigenous, and there's a lot of debate about their origins. Now, as far as the people themselves, they trace themselves back to the east, what would be like Egypt, what we now call Palestine or Israel, right? Which at that time was called Canaan. Now, if anybody remembers, when the Israelites first go to Canaan, there's giants there. David and all them had to fight giants according to their own recollection of arriving there, right? That would mean what? The indigenous people of that area would be of tall stature, of different build once they even arrived there. So this would be going around the Mediterranean Sea. That would include South Europe, North Africa, and what we call now the Levant, which would be from Turkey to Egypt and then west from there. So these are the Berber people. The medieval Tunisian scholar Ibn Khaldun lived 1332 to 1406, recounting the oral traditions prevalent in his day, sets down two popular opinions as to the origin of the Berbers. According to one opinion, they are descended from Canaan, son of Ham, and have for ancestors Berber, son of Timlah, son of Mazig, right? That's where you get the word Amazigh, son of Canaan, son of Ham, son of Noah, right? So these are the first people. Alternatively, Abu Bakari Muhammad S. Soli, who was around 947 AD, held that they are descended from Berber, the son of Kaladum's, Kalasunim, the son of Mizram, the son of Ham. Now, what's important about that is Mizram would be the biblical name for who designates what we know now as Egypt. You see what I'm saying? So even with both those accounts, they're still coming from that same area, that Northeast Africa, Palestine, Jordan River, going towards Mecca area. They belong to a powerful, formidable, brave, and numerous people, a true people like so many others the world has seen, like the Arabs, Persians, Greeks, Romans. The men who belong to this family of peoples have inhabited the Maghreb. That would be the Arab Muslim name for this area we're talking about. So when you're dealing with an area that's been inhabited by so many high cultured and sophisticated civilizations for so many thousands of years, you have to get into the different names to figure out what time period you're talking about, right? So if you were to go to Google on a quick search, are Berbers descendants from, now, who's the most popular giant from biblical terms that you would say, Crumb? Who's the one you remember? Sunday school or just talking to grandma?
That's right. No question. It has to be Goliath.
Goliath, right? Now I know with me being Gullah Geechee, I break it down with the Gullah and the If, but we're talking about something different today. We're talking about the people of Northwest Africa, Mauritania, where you just showed that picture. Why would they be so many of them at this stature, and why would it be so normalized? Well, according to their own traditions, they're descendants of not just the indigenous people of the Levant, but also Goliath himself. So, however, in the principal account, it is not just any descendant of Ham who becomes the ancestor of the Berbers, but none other than Goliath, hero of the Philistines. This is coming from academic.com. The subject, the Canaanites of Africa, the origins of the Berbers according to medieval accounts, right? Not only medieval accounts, but Arab accounts. This is not Arab as in people. We're talking about the language. This is written by the people of that land in those times. That's why it's written in Arabic. See what I'm saying? You know, we go, oh, we got the ancient, it's written in Latin or Greek. If you go to North Africa and want to get the ancient, if it's not written in, you shouldn't be looking up the ancient indigenous files written in Greek or Latin of North Africa. You get what I'm saying? It should be in the language of the people there. Now, I could go to the Blue Bible. This is mentioned on page 25. Just like reptiles came from dinosaurs, humans came from the Nagas. We were larger in size and stronger in strength millions of years ago. Our diets were different, so our appearance and mentalities were different. Our limbs were longer, and some of our hands and feet possessed 6 digits instead of 5. To be honest, having a 6th finger is still common in my family today, millions of years later. We are the ones the Bible named giants, right? Page 33, as revealed in the book of Genesis, chapter 6, the sons of God slept with the daughters of man. This produced offspring who were lighter, shorter, and weaker. Today is almost impossible to find anyone possessing 6 digits on their hands or feet. It seems the creators, Elohim, have failed and become the creation.
Teach.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Shall we move forward?
Yes, sir.
Excellent.
So based on that science, going deeper into it, if you go into the Bible itself, second book of Samuel, chapter 21, verse 18 through 22, the role of Goliath in Moroccan Berber genealogies. It says in those verses, in another battle with the Philistines. Now, why is that important? Because what's the name we just called it before Israel? Palestine. That's a Latin phrase for Philistine. So, like I just said, when you're dealing with somewhere that's had these high culture in these kingdoms back to back to back like this, you have to be aware of the time period. You feel what I'm saying? There is a time period where it's called Israel, and it's these people look this certain way, phenotype there. You understand? So at a time when they were there battling, the people coming in, what we call them Israelites, Jews, you get what I'm saying? Whatever. When they came in, they were battling with the Philistines at Gob. Elhanan, son of Jair, the Bethlehemite, killed the brother of Goliath, the Gittite, who had a spear with a shaft like a weaver's rod. He had a brother. See that? Goliath is not just a single, I am the giant character, animation character. There's a tribe here. It's a people. In still another battle which took place at Goth, there was a huge man with 6 fingers on each hand and 6 toes on each foot, 24 in all. He also was descended from Rapha. When he taunted Israel, Jonathan, son of Shemiah, David's brother, killed him. These 4 were descendants of Rapha and Gath, and they fell at the hands of David and his men. So what happens during this period? According to tradition, Canaanites immigrated to Africa. Their accounts are mixed. Different accounts here, right? With other legends that represent the Berbers as descendants of Goliath, the hero of the Philistines. According to 14th century historian Ibn Khaldun, the Canaanites and the Philistines were all descendants of Ham, and the former helped the latter in their wars against the Israelites. The identification of the Berbers with the Philistines is also found in medieval Jewish sources in later times. Even the North African Jews, originating from the Berber regions, came themselves to be called Philistines, right? So this is another reason why this information got buried a lot. These were considered their enemies. Understand me? In the Greek mythology, didn't they lock the Titans up? Right?
Teach.
They were beefing with these big people, what they call giant cyclops, Amazons, monsters, Bigfoot. Feel me? They were not friendly.
That's all wise, right, and exact.
Yes, sir.
Shall we continue?
Yes, sir.
So in align with the theme of tonight's show, we've all, most of us, I assume, have seen the movie Avatar. And yeah, the people in the comments are typing in Nephilim, because if you do remember, and here, you know what, let's tap all the way in. Press 111 if you do remember in the Bible, there was a war against the Nephilim. I assume you guys know about the Bible, but anyway, yeah, in the Bible, and I'll lead that parade. There was a war with against the Nephilim or with the Nephilim, so on and so forth. And I do remember that in the Bible. So shout out to Crip Jesus. This is in line with what we were taught in church. Okay, so yeah,
But I just want
going
to
back.
say this though, because it's very important what we're doing tonight. For many years, they've been the Nephilim, and dudes argue and smoke weed and say, you know about the Nephilim? And other dudes, you seen the Avatar? What we're doing tonight is we're taking it from the cloud in the sky in the Nephilim and bringing it to your face. Did you know? How many connected Nephilim with Mauritanian people? How many connected Nephilim with Palestinian people? So we're about to give you the names, locations, tribes, and people today. We're gonna take the fake and show you the real that it's based on. We're gonna demystify the lie. You did.
Well said. So now, in the movie Avatar, we've already confirmed, we've set the basis that they were giants. Fine, no problem. At least they were of significant stature compared to us. With that said, not only were they giants, but they were giants because they had giant trees. I just want to make sure that we clarify that part. So, why is this important to point out that they had giant trees? Well, very simple. Tr- Trees bring oxygen. So let's break oxygen down really quickly as if we need to. I don't think we do, but let's just do it.
No, for
Nike.
sure. Mhm.
So now oxygen comes from plants. I would say this is pretty remedial. It's pretty 1+1. I don't think we're going to find too much debate with that, even though I have to admit this. When we're dealing with oxygen, 50% of the world's oxygen comes from the ocean, which I don't think they told us that in school, but I digress. Let's just go with the whole plants thing for now. So now oxygen comes from plants. In the movie Avatar, they were giants and their trees were giant, or at least home tree was a giant tree. So if 1+1 is 2, then bigger plants mean more oxygen. I would say, well, from us looking at the movie, that would be a really simple conclusion to draw. So now, when we're
Well, I
dealing
would even
with,
like to add this in too, just to add on to you.
please.
Remember when you have iguanas, right? And different reptiles, when people want them to grow bigger, they put them in different size cages and different plants around them. And that affects how big or small they come out, how much oxygen they have access to, and how big the area they're grown in is. So when they have us in these little houses and little cages and little bed and little playpen and what I'm saying, these are all things to combine us and shrink us and keep us locked in to a certain size,
Absolutely. So the trees were bigger. There's more oxygen. However, we're still dealing with the same amount of ocean, the same amount of land, the same amount of space for the atmosphere. When I say space, I mean just the amount of space between the dome and us, if you even believe in the dome. So density. More oxygen means higher density. So this blue box represents how much space that we have in our world, and the green circles, orbs, spheres represent how much oxygen we have. So right now, this box would represent, well, you can't really see my cursor. The box on the left represents how much oxygen we have now. The box on the right represents how much oxygen they had then. So as you can see, there was more oxygen. And I saw somebody in the comments, no shade, nothing like that, but they said it's a reach, which is perfectly fine because maybe a lot of us aren't familiar with the science, no judgment, but I wouldn't be surprised because other than nerds like myself, no one is just researching this stuff. But when you're dealing with Earth being a container, I'm sorry, our world being a container, maybe you believe we're in a dome, maybe you call it an atmosphere, whatever the case may be. You could easily liken Earth to a hyperbaric oxygen chamber. The only person I even knew who had one of these was Michael Jackson, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah,
So,
I do remember that.
yes. So hyperbaric oxygen therapy is 100% saturated supplemental oxygen delivered at higher atmospheric pressures. Patients are placed in a high pressure full body chamber. This increases oxygen delivery to all, anybody know how much all is? To all of the tissue of the body. So there's a bunch of different benefits. There's a bunch of different medicinal effects that a hyperbaric chamber delivers. But let's just deal with the first one. In clinical and animal studies, hyperbaric oxygen therapy promoted, this is the number one on the list, ding, 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 cell growth.
Mm-hmm.
So bigger trees, more oxygen. The earth would be symbolic to a hyperbaric chamber. This is automatically going to support cell growth. Now, go back to the movie Avatar. Why did that?
Oh no. Is he muted?
Hey, Crumb, check your you may have accidentally muted. On Zoom.
Yeah, I think you're muted on Zoom.
Sorry about that. European Jesus. All right. So, how come in the movie Jake Sully was in a hyperbaric chamber? In the Avatar movie, it was a 5-year trip to Pandora. So Jake slept in a hyperbaric oxygen chamber. They were getting him ready. They were getting him ready for atmospheric change because based on Home Tree, which was on the world of Pandora, there was too much oxygen in the atmosphere. So they put him in a hyperbaric chamber for his 5-year trip to prepare him for a new atmospheric pressure. Y'all got to go back and watch the movie Avatar, all of it. Moving forward. So the family may say, hey, you know what?
Hold on. You know, I got your back, man.
Please.
You had my back since day one, so I got your back. From evolution.berkeley.edu. Real quick. You've probably seen them dioramas at natural history museums. Giant insects with wingspans up to 71 centimeters, more than 2.25 feet, that lived about 300 million years ago. But how did these high flyers do it? After all, you've just belonged to learn. Scientists investigating, there was simply more oxygen in the air at that time. The Earth's atmosphere has not always been the same. Studying the chemical composition of deposits buried in ancient rocks, along with other lines of evidence, has led scientists to estimate that 300 million years ago, the Earth's atmosphere contained 35% oxygen compared with a measly 21% today. So even scientists way in Berkeley and of the highest elites agree with what this man just said. Oxygen is the reason, not just for bigger humans or bigger plants, bigger insects, giant ants and flies and so on and so forth.
Wow. Which is a beautiful segue. So the concept of giants may not be so far-fetched. We already know that science has told us that at one point in time, the lizards, the reptilians, ruled this world, and we call them dinosaurs. And the king of the reptilians was called Tyrannosaurus Rex, or the tyrant king, the Draconians.
And don't forget, Rex in Latin is king.
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go see what scientists say the key to the size of the dinosaurs. So this is according to Independent in an article titled Higher Oxygen Levels Help Dinosaurs to Thrive and Spread, Experts Find. And it says sauropods expanded as carbon dioxide levels dropped. So remember, plants thrive on carbon dioxide. We breathe in oxygen, we breathe out carbon dioxide. Plants breathe in carbon dioxide, they breathe out oxygens. Because before there was any animals or uh, life form, you're going to deal with the plants. And the plants were the original life forms on this earth when there was no oxygen and there was a bunch of carbon dioxide. So once the plants thrive, then then the insects come. After the insects come, the plants react by flowering fruits. Fruits are nothing but a higher level of flower. You can go Google that if you want to on your spare time. But with that said, yes. So now, once the carbon dioxide goes down, the plants are pumping out oxygen at a rapid rate, which is going to cause extensive cell growth because the earth is acting as a hyperbaric chamber. I'm not going to read this whole thing. I'll just read a little bit. Rising levels of oxygen. Let me switch up. Rising levels of oxygen in the atmosphere millions of years ago helped dinos to flourish. Levels of gas rose nearly 1/3 in 3 million years, which experts say is very rapid. Researchers say that they have set the scene for sauropods, the largest animals to ever live on land, to expand. So we'll keep it at that right there to keep it simple. Go back to the movie Avatar because they had these big plants. The animals that they had in the movie Avatar were symbolic to that of dinosaurs. A lot of you have probably not seen the movie Avatar, and that's totally fine. But if you did see Avatar and those animals looked similar to dinosaurs, press 222. If you did see Avatar and you also, a good teacher can only tell you what to look, not what to see. If you saw that the animals in Avatar were reminiscent of dinosaurs, tap in 222. I'm going to lead this parade because when I first watched it, I didn't notice. But now that I look at it going back, I'm like, oh, wow, they did kind of resemble dinosaurs. That's all wise, right, and exact. Let's move on if that's okay.
Let's get it.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Cutting trees.
This
is
is a
super
big part
important.
of how we got smaller.
This is how we got smaller. Well, if we were giants then what happened? Well, go back.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
That's funny. So no one knows for sure why ancient trees were cut down, but cutting down trees is still a very popular practice. George Washington. Let's go back to the Bible, dealing with these trees and their connection to us. If you go back to Genesis 3:22, it reads, "And the Lord God said, the man is now become like one of us, knowing good and evil. He must not," anybody know what not mean? "He must not be allowed to reach out his hand and also take from the tree of life and eat and live forever." God said, you got to get rid of that tree. You have to get rid of that tree, or or there will be nothing that separates them from the gods. That's in the book of Genesis. And if you look up 3:22, you're going to find that that's the number of skull and crossbone. If you look up
facts.
If you go look up 3:22, that's the number for skull and crossbones. These are the Masonic secrets being revealed on Killah Priest platform. Y'all gonna have to tap all the way in. Okay. Now, I got kids. I got kids on top of kids. I'm an adopted daddy, all types of stuff. So I did see the movie The Lorax, since we're on this whole movie kick. In the movie Lorax, the Lorax was petitioning for the trees. Stop cutting down the trees. He kept saying, "I speak for the trees. I speak for the trees." He kept saying that the whole movie because the movie, The Lorax, was talking about or alluding to our obsession with taking the trees down. But CJ, I wanted to ask, well, actually, CJ, you're on the west side, right?
Yes, sir.
AD, you're on the west side, right?
Yes, sir.
West side? The biggest trees, the biggest trees in the world I don't know if it's in the world or maybe just in America. Somebody in the listening audience, please fact check me on that. The biggest trees in the world, and correct me if I'm wrong, chat, pod chat. I'm sorry, the craft room.
Ooh, that's
Anybody
good
in
though.
the if you're in the craft room, I'm sorry, please.
I was just saying that pod chat, that was good.
Well, I want to say this is a pod class. When KP is here, it's the pod, it's the craft room.
Mm.
When I come into town, this is the pod class.
Ooh.
So yeah, with that said, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the biggest trees in the whole world, Craig, me and these movie references, the biggest trees in the world are on the west side. West side is the best side. And they're called.
Okay, so let me give it for you. Sequoia and Kings Canyon National Parks boast many of the world's largest trees by volume. Not just one, the world's is cracking out here.
The world what?
See, it's cause you say that because I did a video a little while back called The Tree of Life, and I was talking about this, giants and all that. And I was showing just like how you showing the vegetation, because I was telling people, let's stop separating people from environments. Like we just fell out the sky or something. You get what I'm saying? So we are in tune with the plants, animals, the water, the minerals, the elements in whatever environment we hem from, right? So when you look to the furthest west, you'll find right now today in California, Sequoia and Kings Canyon National Parks boast many of the world's largest trees by volume. The General Sherman tree is the largest in the world, like Crumb just said. The largest in the world at 52,508 cubic feet. That's 1,487 cubic meters. The General Grant tree is the second largest at 46,608 cubic feet, which equals 1,320 cubic meters.
Peach. That's all wise, right, exact. So now if you go to the 1800s, during the Wild West pioneering days, you're going to notice that those were the days where they were really ambitious about cutting down trees. And they documented these trees. This is on the west side. This is on the west side. The biggest trees are in the world are on the west coast. And during the pioneering days, the 1800s or whatever, they were over there cutting down trees. And it was amazing at how huge these trees were. It was just unbelievable, the mammoth galactic size of these living landmarks. So
oh, hold on. And we have the oldest trees. Going back to the Great Basin bristlecone pine. Okay, so pay attention. We're using environment to prove time or seniority in time and size, because some people may think, didn't we get bigger or smaller? You get what I'm saying? So we're putting this in order here. When you go back, it didn't get smaller, it got bigger. Understand me?
Factory. So this whole thing about cutting down trees and blah, blah, blah. Where have I heard this story before? Oh, yeah, that's right. Avatar. In the movie Avatar, they wanted the metal that was under the tree. They wanted the metal that was under the tree in the movie Avatar. Under the sycamore tree. I'm just, to all my Caribbean. Avatar was about the metal called unobtainium. Talk about an omen. Talk about foreshadowing. I wonder, are they going to get the metal at the end of the movie called unobtainium? They might obtain. No, we already knew they weren't going to obtain it. The name of it was unobtainium. But in real life, it was about the gas oxygen. We're gonna bring you down to size, big guy. Moving forward. So you say, Crumb, cutting down these trees. Well, if they cut down the trees, we should be able to see them, shouldn't we? Where they at though? Okay, let me stop. Devil Tower is an astounding geologic feature that protrudes out of the prairie surrounding the Black Hills. It's considered sacred by the indigenous people. AD, are you familiar with Devil's Tower?
Not specifically, but that does look familiar.
Yeah, this is a landmark in Wyoming. I went to Devil's Tower. I saw the I think I went to where do you go in a city or a state? It's like the tourist, the place where you go to find all the tourist attractions. I forgot what it's called, but anyway, I went
Like
there.
the rectory.
Yeah, it's not even a fancy name. It's just like a regular name. But anyway, yeah, I went. Yeah, it was like one of those rest stops or something, but it had a fancy name, tourist directory. But anyway, that's not it. But anyway, yeah. So I went there, and they said in Wyoming that it's an ancient giant tree, and I was shocked because if you Google it, it's going to say it's not a tree. But if you go to Wyoming to the tourist place, they say in Wyoming, according to the city, state, or what have you, that's a tree. It's an ancient tree that got cut down. I was beside myself in awe.
And that's why a mason was known as a traveling man. You know, when you go beyond the stone building, when you get into the masonry of the self and building the mind up, it's only so much knowledge you can obtain through rumors or reading books and just believing what's given to you. At some point, you got to take that journey to see it yourself. You know what I mean? So that's why I said, like with the North Africa, it's so important to look at the Arab traditions of the locals. Like you're saying, you could Google it all day, but you go talk to the people in Wyoming, they're going to give you the science like you just did, the actual knowledge, because they know the ledge, knowledge.
That's all wise, right, and exact. It's called the Visitor Center.
Yes, sir.
I went to the Visitor Center, and that's where they told us that that's a tree. So very, very, and then, they had like a historic marker and something like that. So very, very, very interesting. So let's go with this idea that these plateaus, that's what it's called, a plateau, is a tree. No one knows how Devil's Tower formed. Let's say it's not. I'm sorry, excuse me. Let's just go with the fact it's not a tree. That's not a tree. That's not a tree stump. Fine, it's not a tree stump. I'm not here to argue with anybody. However, if you go to ask, them, hey, well, if it's not a tree, what is it? I don't know, Shaggy. That's my best Scooby-Doo voice. According to scienceviews.com, in an article titled Devil's Tower Geology, it reads, the tower is formed, an ongoing debate. Geologists agree that Devil's Tower was formed by the intrusion, meaning the forcible entry of molten rock into or between other rock formations, the igneous material. What they cannot agree upon is how exactly that process took place. Let me see. I think I gotta.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I was
teaching.
Remember Close Encounters of the Third Kind? I didn't mean to interrupt, but I wanted to show off that movie. Because he becomes obsessed with that structure. It's in your Zoom chat also, CJ.
Huh? Zoom chat?
Yeah, it's just that structure he speaks on, which is, I'm not trying to jump ahead, speaking of tree stumps, but it was
you might want to throw that up there, man.
That's why I sent it to you, because I was like, that was a huge part of that movie. He became obsessed with it. Remember, he started building it with mashed potatoes.
Teach.
He built that exact structure. Anyway, I just wanted to throw that up there.
Yeah, yeah.
Devil's Tower. I think it was literally called Devil's Tower in the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind, right?
Yeah. So they specifically speak on that structure, and he becomes obsessed with that structure, and that's where this.
That's because we automatically assume that the third kind, if that's what you want to call them, are somewhere else
Oh, you're adding that
are
slide? That's dope.
going to
Yeah,
visit
I'm
us.
trying
They're
to. I
not
can't
us,
find it though.
right? But when you realize that there are ancestors, the ideal of running into one or meeting one or a Bigfoot or an alien or another kind becomes a little more realistic. When you realize we're going further back. We're talking about more oxygen. We're talking about different diets. We're talking about living in with the elements, right? So that means we're also talking about living longer. Now, before y'all say, oh, there's people living right now, 114, 140, way big numbers, but they're usually in islands or very isolated places, Japan, Jamaica. And what this represents is that us ourselves, if we tap into our DNA, clean it up, and really get into understanding ourselves, this is not somewhere else. It's right here. It's in us, laying dormant, just like that tree stump is that mountain. You understand me? What's inside of us, what we are the mountain, the leftover remains of the stump. You feel what I'm saying? So what we're trying to do now is not only open up the mind, but open up that eye on you, so we can clean our DNA up and get all the way back. You feel what I'm saying? Close Encounters of the Third Kind, 1977.
You seen that movie? I bet most people watching have seen that movie, being that we have a slightly older audience. Isn't
I've
it?
seen that movie, but I didn't have the understanding I have now.
Yeah.
To where I look at it a little different now. Like I was saying, I look at it more dealing with our ancestors as opposed to like some make-believe thing just flying out of nowhere saying, hey, come to visit you.
Yeah, it's on the alien tip. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But what I'm saying is a lot of what we're talking about is on the alien tip if you understand what that really is. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with our ancestors and people before us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to go back and watch that. I have to go back and watch that.
For real.
Okay.
With a new perspective that we have.
Yes. With a completely new perspective. So these plateaus, what they call them, they are, from what we may believe, are tree stumps. But we know that trees are wood and these are stone. So how do we account for that? Easy. It's called petrified wood. Petrified wood is the name given to, petrified wood is the name given to a special type of fossilized remains of terrestrial vegetation. Petrification is the result of a tree or tree-like plants having been replaced by stone via a mineralization process. The organic materials making up cell walls have been replicated with minerals, mostly like silica, such as opal. I can't pronounce that word. Something or quartz. Unlike other plant fossils, which are typically impressions or compressions, petrified wood is a 3D representation of the original organic material.
And I want to point out to everybody, can you go back real quick?
Please, yeah.
I want to point out to everybody that it says the organic materials making up cell walls. This is not magical. This is not even far-fetched if you understand what a cell wall is. You are made of cells. There are things inside those cells, but there's a wall on those cells. It's like there's a skin on us. And when that wall becomes hard, right? This is what happens. It's akin to maybe even a scab. You understand what I'm saying? Just want to point that out for people. This is a simple process if you pay attention to the verbiage being used.
Teach. So, I saw someone in the chat who said they have a petrified wood ball that they've used as a what do you call those balls that you look in and you can see the future? A crystal ball, which I would love to see something like that. Totally amazing. So yeah, we're talking about a 3D file. We're talking, I love that. We're talking about a 3D, a crystal ball, thank you. We're talking about a 3D fossil, not the 2D fossils that you see inside of a piece of stone. We're talking a 3D fossil. That's what this is. This is a 3D fossil. This is a replica of a 3D fossil. These are 3D fossils. This is all Wise Ryan Exact. So here we go. A mountain is formed due to various geological processes like movement and opposition of tectonic plates. But a volcano is formed around a vent that allows magma to reach the surface of the earth. It all has to do with tectonic plates. And that's a fun fact for kids about mountains and volcanoes. Well, why is this important? Because they told you that these things, these pieces of wood, these trees that we believe are trees, started out as a result of shifting of tectonic plates. And I wanted to ask the listening audience, since we're talking about these shifting of tectonic plates and from where we stand, things growing out of them. Who wrote the poetry? There's a book called The Rose That Grew from the Concrete. Who wrote the poetry, The Rose That Grew from the Concrete? Because we're talking about these plates and they're shifting and something growing from out of the plates, which makes me think about the rose that grew from the concrete. If you know, you know. If you don't, you may need to sharpen up on your hip hop just a little bit moving forward. So this is
they got it. We got about 5 people got it already. Yeah, they got it.
Okay.
6
okay.
people got it. Yeah, they got it. They are on deck.
So we have some people in the pod class who are really master students and they know their hip hop versus, you know, the young boys don't know anything outside of you know, I don't even know who the new rappers are. Yeah. But anyway, yeah.
For those listening that can't see the chat, the author was, you want me to tell them?
Please and thank you.
The author was Tupac Shakur.
Amen. So we're gonna see these stumps. This is Pico Cayo Grande in Sao Island, a giant tree stump. Coordinates are on the screen. You can look at it. And we can kind of see how this could easily be a tree. Now, these trees don't look like they were cut down per se, but they may have withered and they have fallen, and the remains are the base of the tree. And this is what we see in nature to this day. To this day, we see it to this day. But moving forward, oxygen, part 2. So yeah, we breathe air that is about 21% oxygen. The air that we breathe is not 100% air. It's 21% oxygen. Let's just be 1,000,000,000,000% clear. The second, the middle one, well, the second from the top, it says air is mostly gas. The air in Earth's atmosphere is made up of approximately 78% nitrogen. When you open a bag of chips and they get stale, what gas was in the chips? Because now when you open them and they touch the air, they get stale. Well, what was in the bag? What was in the bag that made the chips not get stale? But as soon as you open the bag and leave it open for too long, the chips get stale. That's nitrogen in the bag. Cat's out the bag. Nitrogen's out the bag. That was a nerd joke. So yeah, with that said, we can't breathe pure 100% oxygen. That's the point of this slide. We can only breathe about 21%. Go back to the movie. They had his ass in a hyperbaric chamber. They had him in a hyperbaric chamber trying to get him ready for the atmosphere. When Sully got to Pandora, over there with the Avatar people, he could not breathe the 100% oxygen coming from Home Tree.
Hold up.
Come on, somebody.
Hold up, swole up. They can't breathe the air, but they can pollute it.
Ain't that something, y'all?
So you're saying, just so for everyone to understand, that due to the abundance, not lack of, abundance of oxygen that they were not used to, they couldn't handle it. Right?
Factory.
They had to put the mat. Okay, so have you ever, like, when you travel out and you get away from the city and you get to, oh man, the air is so pure here, and then you go further up the mountain and it does get to a point where it's like, I don't know the proper word, but you get what I'm saying? It's like your breathing's messed up because it's too pure. You feel me? You have like shorter breaths and all that as you get higher elevation.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
The future. So this was the location of the sun and Sirius at the beginning of the age of Pisces, 5 AD. And I think I had quizzed AD on this, and we talked about how the Bible is based on retrograde. And just one more time for the listening audience, what zodiac sign would Adam and Eve be under, AD?
Gemini.
Hey, the twin flames. After Gemini, going backwards, the time of Norris would, the time of Noah would be Taurus. And you kind of see what I did there with my dyslexia. Before Taurus is what, AD?
Aries.
Aries. This would be the time of Moses. Moses had horns. Before Aries is what, AD?
Pisces.
Pisces. And I want to ask the listening audience, because we're not going to put all the pressure on AD. Somebody else going to have to answer a couple questions.
I love the pressure. I want all the pressure.
When we're dealing, so Gemini is Adam and Eve. Noah is Taurus. Moses is Aries. What biblical character, and I just want to give the listening audience a second. I know we got a 7-second delay. What biblical character is Pisces, according to the Bible? Now, the person who really brought this to us is Santos Bonacci. Well, the family's already answered it. The family is on it. Wow. This is really the pie class tonight.
Yep.
So yes, Jesus would be the Pisces. So now, before the Pisces, back to AD, before the zodiac sign Pisces, we're in retrograde.
Well, but before you change it though,
please.
I wasn't sure if you were going to point out this is the Jesus fish.
Teach.
You see it? You always see the Jesus fish in that particular shape.
I see it.
Because it's also the beginning of the first cell splitting. This also is Visa or MasterCard.
Oh, you teaching. That's how you feel? Okay.
Yeah. It's a splitting of the atom, and it's also what you're showing here. It's all that. But there is the Jesus fish right there in the center.
Correct.
It's the split. And that's also why they talk about two fish being the Pisces symbol and all that. There's also a Pisces symbol right here in the middle too. We can go on and on.
Yeah, that shape is called the Vesica Pisces.
Vesica Pisces, yes. Literally in the name.
Literally. In addition to that, Jesus was he was real good with water. He was real good. He could turn water to wine.
Yeah, which is, as you know, the sun going from Aries to Virgo, because you grow the grapes in the spring and then they harvest in harvest season, which is Virgo. So he is therefore turning water into wine because it's grapes. When you crush grapes, you can make wine.
Factory.
So
in addition to that,
go ahead.
Before Michael Jackson did it, it was Jesus who was moonwalking on water.
Yep.
But no, please.
I'm with you. I'm with you. And Michael Jackson is a Virgo.
Now, what sign is opposite of Virgo? This might be a hard one.
Pisces.
The Pisces.
Yeah.
Because remember, when you're dealing with the Virgo, that's the virgin. That's the fishy vagina. That's the fishy vagina.
Because they are opposite.
They are opposite.
Now, we can go on this because in the Bible, it also talks about how Jesus had fed wheat and bread and fish.
European Jesus, you teaching.
So
You teaching
so
tonight.
Jesus, I mean the Pisces is the fish, and the bread is the house of wheat, which is Virgo, which is Bethlehem.
Amen. Amen.
Boom. So that's where the idea of bread and fish. It's not a literal story. It's not actually happening with bread and fish, but it's representation of the stars.
Come on.
God's glory work. But yeah, harvest season, which we just passed right now. Now we're in Libra, but yeah.
Correct. Even though there's no such thing as Libra, but let's not go there.
Ooh.
Yeah, the Romans brought you Libra.
I mean the name.
Even the symbol.
Okay, yeah.
Go look at every other representation and anthropomorphized symbol. None of them are inanimate objects. The Libra scales are the only inanimate objects. Those are not Libra scales. Those are the claws of Scorpio. Put some Scorpio stand up.
Okay. I've also heard it's the tree of knowledge. Because it looks like, you know, they make it look like the Libra scales. It's also a blossoming tree.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And they're saying that because tree of knowledge and Libra is representing knowledge. It's the number 7 and all that. And it's where you get the word library and liberal.
Come on.
But that's just, you know, wordplay right there.
Very interesting indeed, nonetheless.
Yeah.
So yeah, when we are furthest away in the age of Pisces, you're going to see the blue representing Earth, or our sun rather, and the red representing our sister sun, which is Sirius, because we're going in cycles. And I want to ask before I give the answer to Crip Jesus, because we're in applied class. Crip Jesus, why are clocks round?
Because they represent cycles. You know, time is not just a monolithic continuum from A to B or A to Z. It doesn't work like that. What goes up will come down and go back up again and around again.
Each.
Like you said earlier, there's no 13 o'clock. It's to 12, then back again. You feel what I'm saying?
Pyramid.
So right now,
pyramid.
To continue what y'all were saying, we're leaving from Pisces into the age of Aquarius.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go all the way back around and do it again.
Mm-hmm.
So as we once were, we will be again. We were giants at one time. We're going to go back being giants again. But I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. Please forgive me, gentlemen.
Good.
So it's called Carbon 7 evolution. Our bodies will become less physical as the sunlight becomes stronger. We will lose atomic mass. We're going to lose 5 neutrons to be specific. We're going to lose our root chakra and we're going to gain a new chakra. Amen, church? And that's going to be above our crown chakra. Our crown chakra will no longer be the highest altitude of consciousness that we can reach. It will be the second highest. We will stop eating. Oh, y'all still, remember the vegans, y'all still eating meat in the future? Y'all still eating food? From meat, we will go to strictly being breatharians. And at one point, and in the future, we will no longer even be breathing, because when we were giants, we were more physical. As we evolve and progress into the new age, because after Aquarius is, before Aquarius is what, AD?
That would be Capricorn.
When we go into the age of Capricorn, ain't nobody gonna, y'all still eating food? Y'all still breathing? That's not a conversation going to be in the age of Capricorn. Y'all still breathing air? Because we're going to evolve. So we're going to be, back then we were more physical. We were giants. As we progress, we will be less physical, and then we'll go back to being more physical again. It's just a cycle of up and down, higher self, lower self, physical, light being, blah, blah, blah. Anyway.
And that is approximately 4,000 years from now.
Amen, church. Y'all, listen. If AD keep on this path that he's on, we're going to have to pass that collection plate around, church. Amen. We will stop eating. We'll stop eating and breathing like we used to and absorb light energy just like a plant. We will have crystal light bodies called Merkabas. Shout out to Killah Priest.
Now we technically can do the plant thing now, not only with getting sun exposure, but with about sun gazing.
Yeah.
But you got to only do that when the sun is barely coming up and when it's barely going down. Obviously, you don't want to look at the sun when it's right above you. It has to be sunset or dawn, where you can stare into the sun, and then those light rays can go into your eyes. And with the similar process of photosynthesis, your eyes, your pineal gland, your spirit, whatever you want to call it, can pull in that light energy. But that is called sun gazing. Pretty interesting. I'm just never awake.
I want to actually, if you don't mind, add in an expert here from the Blue Bible about this right here, about what we're going to evolve into. Now, as you made me point out, we're not going from A to B to C to D to E to F, then finally get to Z and the world's over and it just all falls apart. Even in the 5% nation, each alphabet is given a name and a meaning. So the Z for us would be zigzag zig, and that means to zigzag zig back to the beginning, knowledge, wisdom, understanding, right? So the civilization built around the Mississippi River by our ancestors called giants in the Bible. These were the blue gods. Let's see how we're talking about avatars, right? Who did not eat animals, we were just talking about, and were of a more liquid form. Now, when I put that, a lot of people are like, huh, what? So I wish I would have added in the chakra information, because basically, as you're saying, when we become less physical or more physical, it has to do with the structure of our cells. You feel me? And what does that have to do with? What we intake: light, water, meat, whatever starch we're taking in, whatever metals, plastics, all of this affects our cellular structure. So, as I said, these were the blue gods who did not eat animals and were of a more liquid form than the animal flesh beings we have become today. Their civilization is called Mississippian. So if you look, as much as they want to deny it, when you type in Mississippian, whether it be Google or look in your Britannica encyclopedia, it's going to tell you about an ancient civilization right here in the Americas, up and down the Mississippi River, from Canada all the way to the Gulf of Mexico. And every explorer, conquistador, whatever you want to call them, that encountered these people described them as giants. Now, just like Egypt is the area around the north of the Nile River in Africa, settlers named South Illinois Little Egypt, the area around the north of the Mississippi River in America. From here, the camel originated 2 million years ago. It traveled and developed 2 humps on its way to the Nile River. That's proving we have beings right here on the earth now that are millions of years old that became more physical, less physical, different in size, different in shape, originating on the west. But because when you think of a camel, you don't think of America at all. If you saw a camel over here, you'd be like, where do you import that from, right? So things are not set in stone as we like to think. Things evolve, devolve, grow, become smaller due to the environment. This is all real. It's not just one set in stone. Now, in the past, the river was surrounded by pyramids. The masons responsible for said pyramids, which are called now mounds. Now, why mound? Short for mountain, right? You see these mounds all around the Mississippi River. Some look like tree stumps like you're talking about in Wyoming. Some look like pyramids, right? Even a pyramid, that type of structure protruding out the earth, set there long enough, not tended to, it will turn into a mound. It will turn into a mountain. We have mountains here that are old pyramids. You know what I'm saying? We have mountains here that are old tree stumps, like you said. They're all petrified. The Masons responsible for said pyramids mounds were the family named Ouachita. Their capital was Poverty Point, Louisiana. Their family built pyramids called mountains all throughout the Americas, from Peru to Canada, from the south to the north. Just like you see the Nile River run in Africa, from the south to the north. So a lot of the science we understand is backwards. And all we're bringing you back to is those original cycles. Peace. That's all I wanted to,
Yo, I got to point out, I think it's crazy how behind you it looks like there's a Holy Cross.
Amen.
AD and this music in the background. I'm loving it. Ba, 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 ba. That's right. Yeah, that's amazing.
Amazing.
Okay. So the carbon-7 evolution, we're going to lose 5 protons. We're gonna lose atomic weight, and we're gonna evolve. The more indigo children are being born, the more connected to the spiritual they are than the physical. It's no coinky dink that they're called indigo children. You the avatar. Crumb, I watched the movie. It was a nice work of fiction. No, you the man. Little man is the avatar. Your baby's the avatar. Little Kiki the avatar. Your kids is the avatar. These little blue indigo children y'all having. I'm not saying blue literally. I'm saying that metaphysically. So I think the last number we left off on was 222. I think so. So let's just go with 333. If you did not know that California, West Side, that California has the Earth's root chakra, press 333. And I'm gonna press 333 because I didn't know until I did this PowerPoint. If you did not know that California, the West Side, is the Earth's root chakra, press 333. I didn't know until this video.
If that's true, we're all in trouble.
Well, I think even though AD did not mean to, AD getting ahead of me. And I'll tell you why. So in particular, it's Mount Shasta. And anybody who believes that we are the ancestors, you understand that the ancestors, they held rituals at Mount Shasta. I didn't put that in the PowerPoint, but you can Google that and post it in the comments or debunk me or whatever the case may be. Did the ancestors, hey, Crumb, we're from America. Fine, we're from America. Well, what were we doing here in America? Oh, well, we were doing rituals at Mount Shasta. If you want, Google what were the ancient Indians doing at Mount Shasta, or were the ancient Indians doing rituals at Mount Shasta? Either way, that's the Earth's root chakra, and our ancestors already knew that. So moving forward, we're dealing with the root chakra. Well, I'm sorry, excuse me. We're dealing with carbon-7 evolution. I told you a couple slides back, we're going to lose our root chakra. When you lose those 5, you're going to lose atomic weight. There's a difference between, I'm sorry, excuse me, atomic mass. Crumb, I'm losing weight. Well, what about mass? Because remember, when we were in school, I was asleep. But when we were in science class, they said there's a difference between weight and mass. Weight changes based off gravity, based off density. Your tail go into the water, you're not as heavy as you are on land, blah, blah, blah. But I don't care if you go into the water, you still have the same mass. Well, a part of the carbon-7 evolution is you're going to lose 5 neutrons of atomic mass. This is the carbon-7 evolution. You're going to lose your root chakra. When you lose your root chakra, the Earth is going to lose its root chakra over there about Mount Shasta. Crumb, that's crazy. Well, didn't they tell you about because I see a lot of people did not. It looks like nobody at all pressed, like 2 people pressed 333. So I assume the rest of y'all already knew it. But you might want to look into the San Andreas fault line. Crumb, I know about San Andreas. I played the game. No, not that San Andreas. I'm talking about the fault line. Go back and look. 95% of all, anybody know how much all is? 95% of all earthquakes come from the Pacific Ocean. It's called the Ring of Fire. You can Google it, debunk me. Whatever you find, put it in the comments. Crumb, I looked it up, and 95% of all earthquakes do not come from the Pacific Ocean. Yeah, they do. It's called the Ring of Fire. 95% of all earthquakes come from the Pacific Ocean, tap all the way in. So now,
I want to point out too that the Ring of Fire runs around Alaska, Russia, East Asia, and California, coming down Mexico, I believe. Like, yeah, all of that going around surrounding the Pacific Ocean.
That's all wise, right, and exact.
And if you look at the way that the stories are told about Atlantis and all that, right? So Atlantis in the whole division that would be the Atlantic Ocean, that would be a split of the land we see now, right? Split into east and west. But as you were pointing out, the root, all those islands in the Pacific Ocean, those thousands of islands right there, that would represent a big mass continent that we've already lost some of it. You feel what I'm saying? We're just waiting for, so, like you said, Cali would be the little belly button still left, the navel holding us together, the piece of thread, you know what I'm saying? Because most of it's gone, like what they call it, Island of Mu, right? Most of that continent that would be between what we now call Asia and California, as you can see by the thousands of islands scattered out throughout the Pacific Ocean.
Factory. So now, if you look, the San Andreas Fault is a continental transform fault that extends 750 miles through California. It forms the tectonic boundary between the Pacific Plate and the North American Plate. So, California will break along the San Andreas Fault line and sink. This is the root chakra. When I told y'all about us going into the age of Aquarius and then into the age of Capricorn, we're going to lose our root chakra. California is going to sink based on the San Andreas Fault line, causing a tidal wave flooding the inland. So if you look on the east side, look right here on the east side, you're going to see not only is California gone, but on the east side, you're going to see where there's a large swath of land that suddenly appears right there. That large swath of land. Can somebody please, not AD, not CJ, somebody tell me what is the name of this large swath of land that is going to rise from out of the sea? What is the name of the large swath of land that's going to rise from out of the sea? Some lands will sink, some lands will rise. What's the name of that land? Thank you. Thank you. Some of y'all know.
Shout out to Ice Hawk for getting it first.
Shout out to Ice Hawk. I see him in the comments. This is the pod class. You're going to learn today. To this day, you're going to learn today. Crumb, that's crazy. You guys are smoking that wacky tobacco.
Only I am.
Okay. Where have you heard this story before? Oh, yeah, Nostradamus told you that. Nostradamus told you that. Is California really sinking? This is according to revealnews.org in an article titled, California is sinking and it's getting worse. It reads, California is sinking and fast. While the state's drought-induced sinking is well known, new details highlight just how severe it has become and how little the government has done to monitor it. Last summer, now I made this maybe 2 years ago, scientists recorded the worst sinking in at least 50 years. I'm going down, baby. Okay, I'm done. So now go back and watch the movie Avatar. In addition, some land will float based off the higher chakras. You're going to lose your root chakra. You're going to have a chakra above your crown chakra. The earth will lose its root chakra, and the earth will gain land, even though it's lost land. Oh, Crumb, remember in the movie Avatar, some of the land had risen? Yeah, some of the land rose so high, it was floating. Oh, y'all still eating food and breathing air? In the age of Capricorn, we not breathing no darn air no more. That's old. We living off light. But anyway, let's go back to cutting trees. Cutting trees part 2. These are not mountains. Again, they're tree stumps. These are not mountains. Again, they're tree stumps. So anybody notice this little connection between these giant trees and these giants? I remember the cartoon Paul Bunyan, and Paul Bunyan and the gang, it was a giant who was cutting down trees. Where have I heard this story before? Oh yeah, Jack and the Beanstalk. There's this weird association with trees and giants. There's this weird association between trees and giants. How do you get rid of a giant? Oh, that's right. You cut down a tree. Kill the giant tree, and you kill the giant. If you unalive the tree and you cut the giant trees down, the giants are going down. I'm going down, baby.
Jack and the
Okay,
Beanstalk.
Tap all the way in.
His name is Bunyan, right? Bunyan. The first thing I thought about, because when I think of trees and ancient trees and tapping in and all of that, especially getting esoteric, I think of the banyan tree, right? That's the tree native to India, Pakistan. That's the tree you always see Buddha around when he's sitting there like this. It's all super big, and he's going to another portal for just sitting there. That's a reference to the ancient trees, right? So it's no mistake that Paul Bunyan likes to find these trees and chop them, right? It's a reference to the banyan tree. I can guarantee it.
Let that man cook.
And he's with he's with a bull, an ox representing Taurus.
Come on. I'm just saying.
Let that man cook. That's all wise, right, and exact. Which I think Crip Jesus brings us to a beautiful segue. And real quick, we're almost at 200 people watching. We don't have 100 likes. If the family could tap in support of the platform, in support of Killah Priest, in support of AD, please, please, please smash that like button, please and thank you. Okay, African giants. According to newsghana.com, in an article titled Footprint of God Found in South Africa, it reads, Footprint of God found in South Africa. A giant footprint named Footprint of God was recently found in South Africa in rough granite, about 4 feet long. With this foot size, the person who would leave it behind must have been about 24 feet tall. And for the other people who do that other metric, is 7.5 meters. I don't deal with those metrics, but you know, Killah Priest is international, so I gotta put some respect on everybody's name. So yeah, we're in Africa. These sentinels at the door. These are sentinels at the door. To the right, you're going to see a pharaoh of amazing stature.
Amazing.
5 to 6 meter tall giant kings in ancient Egypt. It's easy to be a king when you're a Nephilim. The Bible told you the Nephilim came down here and wrecked shop. They're running things. Let's not even deal with Africa. Let's deal with ancient Babylonia. The Sumerian picture is almost identical to its Egyptian counterpart in the slide above. Wow. So I'm looking at this picture. Is it a coinky dink that it looks like this picture? These Nephilim were hanging out in ancient Sumer or Babylonia, and they were also banging out in Egypt. Moving on. Giant Egyptian man in boat, two-dimensional ancient painting. Same giant Egyptian man in a boat, 3D ancient model. There he is right there in the picture. This is a relief. There he is in the boat. He's a giant. Crumb, that's just a picture. You're misunderstanding. Nah, look at the 3D model. And old boy he's big. Giant guy puts his hands on the boat. I don't know if he's pushing the boat or pulling it or whatever the case may be, but he's significantly bigger than his counterparts. Again, more sentinels at the gate. The more ancient depictions of African giants. Not only do we have the sentinels who are standing guard at Armana, the destroyed city, but you're going to see right here in the middle, there's a dude. This is not a son. This is not an infant. That's a grown man. Here you're going to have Kevin Hart, and right beside him, you're going to have Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I'm just being silly. But anyway.
No.
It's called a sentinel. The sentinels at the gate. Go watch X-Men. These are sentinels at the gate. More ancient depictions of African giants. This was not megalomania where they made big statues to feed their ego. This was a depiction of something that was really going on in antiquity. More ancient depictions of African giants. And when we're dealing with Armana, we're dealing with the 18th dynasty. The 18th dynasty was the dynasty that had one of the most infamous pharaohs of all time, Pharaoh Akhenaten, who had a bulbous head. Look at the giant. The giant has a bulbous head. Oh, my eye burning. Sorry. Let me get this thing right here. Oh, relief. Okay. Lifting giant human coffin. A giant human coffin is otherwise known as a sarcophagus. Crumb, that's just a picture. The sarcophaguses weren't that big. Well, hold on, family. We found those giant sarcophagus. The giant sarcophagus that they found back then, well, that was depicted in the picture, we found them. That was a giant sarcophagus. We have them. Moving forward. The obelisk, look how big in the picture to the left, look how big the obelisk is compared to humans. And on the right, look at these giants setting up the obelisk. Ain't that something, y'all? Look at this is a picture of a foot. And these are dudes at the foot. Remember, God told you he would make earth his footstool. Amen, church. Amen. Somebody in the audience type amen. God said he'd make the earth his footstool. Right here, you see a big foot, and then you see the people, and it's a little blurry. Forgive me, but hopefully you get it. Yeah, don't type amen. Type Amun. Amun, amen, Ra, whichever way. So right here, you're going to see an oryx. Look at the oryx right there. That's not a baby. That's a full-grown oryx. Look to the right. You're going to see humans compared to the oryx. And look to the left. You're going to see giants compared to the same oryx. Look at the feet of the daggone giant. Amazing. I'm sorry.
Amazing.
Look at these giants, a giant man and a giant woman, and look at their servants, these humans at the bottom. There it is again. Giants and little people. Giants and regular humans. Giants, these giants, this is Sumer, ancient Sumeria, Babylonia, whatever you want to call it. And you got, they're big as a tree. The Temple of Isis on Philia Island with the newspaper accounts detailing the discovery of giants. It reads, prehistoric Egyptian giants. In 1881, when Professor Somebody was engaged in exploring the ruins of an ancient temple of Isis on the banks of the Nile, 16 miles below somewhere, he opened a row of tombs in which some prehistoric race of giants had been buried. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but you see it. You see it. Go back to the book of Numbers 1333. Somebody, well, no, never mind. And when and we even saw giants there, the descendants of Anak. We felt as small as grasshoppers, and that is how we must have even looked to them. Amen, church. Amen. They were giants
Amen.
upon there were giants upon the earth, according to Zechariah Stitchin, according to the his translations of the Sumerian tablets. In his book, Gods, Demigods, and Human Ancestry, The Evidence of Alien DNA, Nephilim. Nephilim. There he is, Zechariah Stitchin, the Russian J with the Sumerian tablets. And here's another guy, was an Argentine naturalist, paleontologist, anthropologist, zoologist, and all types of ist, whose fossil discoveries in Argentina, Panama, especially on Patagonia, rank with those made in the Western United States during the late 19th century. Along with his two brothers, Carlos and Juan, Florentino Somebody was one of the most important founding figures in South American paleontology.
I would go further and say he's one of the most important paleontologists in the world. This man, you probably never heard of him because they try to bury him as much as they can. He discovered, I only remember the number of extinct species in South America and the Americas period, proving a reversal of what they teach. Like, life's coming from the East and Africa, and they kind of leave out Australia, even though you see things like the kangaroo there that you don't see anywhere else. They leave out South America, even though you see things like the Amazonian anaconda there, which you'll see nowhere else. So there's a lot of species that you can just look at and show and prove that they're the superior or the progenitor of that certain species, that line of species, right? And you'll see that. And what you'll notice is that it goes south, not east or west. You know what I'm saying? It goes south. Whether you're coming from Asia going south, whether you're coming from Europe going south into Africa, whether you're coming from North America going south down into Central America, South America, you'll see things get larger and they become, like I said, the progenitor, the parent version of that species, the further south you go. And he proved this. And since then, they've been putting in overtime to disprove everything he's taught and even bury his name.
Factory. All facts. And it's no play on words, and I'm sure it is, but it's no play on words when he says to bury his name because he was a digger. His published works include 24 volumes between 700 and 800 pages each, containing classification studies, comparisons, and descriptions of more than 900 extinct animals, many discovered by him, as CJ was just telling you. This was an important contribution to the known catalog of extinct mammals and would, along with the other guy, collection, be consulted by scientists from America and Europe in subsequent years. He unalived from symptoms of diabetes in 1911. So this is him, a lot of his classifications. Now, one of the epithets that I use, if you look on the far right, is going to say gorilla and chimp. One of the words that I use a lot, probably I use it too much, is troglodyte. And he's one of the ones that are going to bring you the confirmation of the troglodyte. I'm not going to go into that today, of course, but you can see these classifications that he has created. No, I'm sorry, not created, but established. Well, I don't want to say established, but confirmed. That's a better word. It should be this way. Let me see if I can turn it 90 degrees, but I'm not going into all of that. Anyway, let's move on. The first mention of giants, supposedly twice the height of a normal human being, appeared in the Italian chronicler Antonio Somebody's account of Ferdinand Magellan's travels. This official record reported that Magellan's crew got more than they bargained for during the circumnavigation of the globe in the 1520s. This guy Pigtails, details a dancing and leaping giant on the shores of Argentina, not one to take all the glory for himself. Magellan selflessly sent a poor crew member over to the gallivanting giants to make contact. Magellan saw these giants and said, hell no, you go see what it is. So the giant was reportedly very friendly and so colossally tall that the Europeans only reached his waist. Magellan named them the Patagons. And many believe this to have come from the Portuguese word pata, meaning foot, big foot. That's right, family. The so-called giants left huge, gaping footprints in the snow because of the large guacamole skin moccasins they wore on their feet. Obviously, that doesn't say guacamole, but somebody's going to have to help me on that. And this is going back to the whole Bigfoot thing that I showed you guys in Africa. I can't even find where it's at, but hopefully y'all can just rewind the video and tap all the way in. But anyway, yeah, guacamole. Okay. Patagonia may thus mean land of the Bigfoot, which unsurprisingly contributed to the rumors and mythological something of the Patagonian giants. One other suggestion, however, is that Magellan took the name from the giant Patagon, a prominent character in the 16th century Spanish romantic whatever, something, 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 something. Something, 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 something. I get weeded. My daughter scribbled over the rest. I couldn't read it. Anyway, so that was part one. What say ye, gentlemen?
That's pretty good so far, man. I'm loving it. I was wondering if when you were going to mention like things like the Iron Age and the Golden Age and how the ages are according to elements, but that's probably a different path.
Well, I wanted to add in something too. Just go delve in on the more how they try to make this a myth. So the Asiatic people, right? So Asiatic is a term that deals with the earth when the plates were different, right? And what that does is dealing with the earlier people. Now, the current people would be descendants of them. Now, in the Bible, it makes everyone a descendant of Adam, right? The people of Adam received their names by way of war. This truth is revealed in the book of Genesis, chapter 32, verse 28, and Revelations 2:9. I'm reading from the Blue Bible. Now, even the names of Adam's sons, Cain and Abel, belong to the original people. The English name Abel was derived from Abu El, which is Arabic for Father God. His family name would become Eli in Latin. In its proper form, it is Ali, from which we get his children's name, Ali Ians. This is Latinized, which is where you get the term aliens. They are the creators of the people of Adam. See how backwards it is? Now, we're going about that, but on page 33, I break down Cain, where that name comes from. So their cousins would be the family of Cain, known in Arabic as Yam or Canaan. Now, why is this so important? Because check this out for all my Bible thumpers. Let's go a little great. When you graduate from the Bible, they put that fez on your head, right? And you graduate to the next level. In the Quran, Noah has 4 sons, not 3. He has 4 sons. And the 4th son represents these people we're talking about, okay? And what happens there is that in the story, his 4th son does not enter the ark, and he stays back and he decides to drown. I would even go as far as to say that's Quran. Let me make sure I got the surah right. I don't want to make it up. But anyway, his 4th son named Yanin or Canaan in the Quran, right? He decides to stay behind and gets drowned. So this is the same thing you see for the Titans, for the Goliath. Everyone who comes from these people, they say, oh, they're extinct now. Something happened, right? So what happens here is within the land they are from still bears their name today. Canada. Within their nation existed countless families, tongues, and lands. Still as a whole, they were all Canaanites. Now, what is the big legend that we have here about giants that still comes from Canada to this day? Bigfoot, better known as Sasquatch. That is a Canadian folklore. You know what I'm saying? So they call it mythical, but what you're dealing with is the science of an elder people. You feel what I'm saying? And it's not a coincidence that these bones, these stories, these reports, and even the drawings come from the West, the same place the biggest trees come from. You get what I'm saying? The oldest trees. It's all in alignment. That's all I wanted to add. Oh, also, oh damn, okay. In that last one, they didn't have the list for Florentino Amagino's types.
No, sir.
Okay,
I still have more in part 2.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. So that was my first PowerPoint, our first PowerPoint. Now we are on Land of the Giants part 2, and we're gonna. I was gonna ask if you could, AD, the top of the screen, the PowerPoint is if you can kind of add that in there some way somehow. If not, I might can fix it.
What
But
you mean?
nonetheless-
What you mean? Like the I got the top of the screen right here. You want? You have
Oh no,
something
I'm
else?
sorry. I'm sorry. That's my fault. That's not yours. That's my fault. Please forgive me.
Okay.
Please forgive me.
All right.
Okay, so yeah, with that said, top 10 giant discoveries in North America. Number 10 is Serpent Mound in Ohio, 7 foot. Number 9, West Virginia, 7.2. Iowa, 7.6. Missouri, 8 foot. Ohio, 1.5. I'm not sure how to even read that. California, San Diego, 8'4", California 9'2", Arkansas 10 foot, California 12, Pennsylvania 18 feet. The number one state we're gonna see is California because them trees over there have it hit different. So let's go back to the Patagonian giants. Here is a depiction. Tierra de Patagonia, meaning the land of the Patagonians or the land of the big feet people. Where is Patagonia? So we're going to see Chile, Chilean Patagonia, Argentinian Patagonia is basically the countries that are going to make up the lower tip, the only tip of South America. And you may be, family here, can we press 444 if you're familiar with the name brand Patagonia? A lot of you might not know about the name brand, but I personally am familiar with Patagonia, the name brand. If you are familiar with it, tap. I'm gonna press 4. I'm gonna lead this parade. I definitely know about Patagonia, the name brand. So yeah, with that said, this should be familiar to all of us from a fashion perspective. Moving on. The Patagonians, or Patagonian giants, were a race of giant humans rumored to be living in Patagonia and described in early European accounts and indigenous lore. They were said to have exceeded at least double normal human height, with some accounts giving heights of 12 to 15 feet or more. Tales of these people would maintain a hold upon European conceptions of the region for some 250 years. First mention of these people came from the voyage of Ferdinand Magellan and his crew, who claimed to have seen them while exploring the coastline of South America en route to the Maluku Islands in their circumnavigation of the world in 1520s. Antonio Pigafetta, one of the expedition's few survivors and chronicler of Magellan's expedition, wrote in his account about their encounter with natives twice a normal person's height. And this is according to Pigafetta. These are just some more depictions according to Pigafetta. One day we suddenly saw a naked man of giant stature on the shore of the port, dancing, singing. Um, I think I kind of went over that. I'll just skeet past that one. These are the Patagonians. Well, I'm sorry, the Patagonians are on the right. The other Native Americans are of different ethnicities or different races, even though there's no such thing as race. Let's just say ethnicity. Um, there's a regular man and there is a Patagonian man. And forgive me when I say regular. Mm. Pigafetta also recorded that Magellan had bestowed on these people the name. I'm gonna skip that one. More giants. 1579, Francis Drake's ship Chaplain, Francis Fletcher, wrote about the meeting of the very tall 7.5-foot Patagonians. So this is a second account. 50, I keep saying 19. 1590s, Anthony Somebody claimed that he had seen dead bodies 12 feet long in Patagonia. There's the third account. Number 4, also in the 1590s, William Adams, an Englishman aboard a Dutch ship rounding Tierra del Fuego, reported a violent encounter between his ship's crew and an unnaturally tall natives. That's the 5th account. 1766, a rumor leaked out upon their return to the United Kingdom that the crew of the Her Majesty, I forgot what HMS stands for. Her Majesty's ship, maybe Dolphin, captained by Commodore John Byron, had seen a tribe of 12 feet tall natives in Patagonia. That's the 6th confirmation. 6 different stories from 6 different groups who none were together at the time. These are all different years. The people encountered by Byron were, in all likelihood, the Tehuluchis, indigenous to the region. These accounts may also refer to the Telknam. A photo of a 7-foot tall Telknam Ona man can be found in the Library of Congress. Somebody said that this stuff that we're saying is a fishtail. These are sailors. Somebody said this is in the comments. Somebody even said it was racist. Well, I wanted to confirm that these have been documented in the book Giants on Record. There's 3 Americas: Middle, North, and South. South, Middle, and North. America's
also,
hidden.
let's come back to reality. Let's give them some. Look. The further west you go, you're going toward the Pacific, right? And last time I checked, in the Pacific Islands, it's like we like to bury these things because of the words and the names and the connotations and the images that are connected to those names. So when you hear of giant, you think of a cartoon or whatever, right? But if you think about it, Samoans, Tongans, right? Pacific Islanders, they're bigger. And everyone knows that. And everyone expects that. And no one feels surprised when they realize that. You get what I'm saying? So whether we admit it or not, we already know that the further west you go, you're dealing with Aboriginal people who are larger. You feel me?
Yeah, I made that joke
Still to this day.
with the picture of the big guy and the little guy, and I said the little guy was Kevin Hart, the big guy was Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who is Samoan. That's all wise, right, and exact. And when you get further west, just to echo his sentiments, the family gets bigger. The Samoan people are compared to us here on the Big Island, up on Turtle Island, they are unusually larger than we are. This is in 2024. You probably don't know anybody because AD is out there. And when I went out to California, I didn't realize how many Hawaiians, Samoans, Filipino, Laotians out there in Long Beach are the what Asian group is out there in Long Beach again? Crip Jesus? That's the
Vietnamese.
no. Cambodians.
Cambodians. You have plenty of Cambodians in Long Beach, yeah, for sure.
Long Beach has the biggest group of Cambodians outside of Cambodia. I didn't realize how much of those people were in California. So when you're dealing with Samoans, for someone like AD, for someone like Crip Jesus, you're going to see them people, excuse me, not them people. You're going to see different ethnic groups on a daily basis. However, someone like me over here on the East Coast, it's very black and white, no pun intended, just black people and white people. So it's very different on the West Coast, and a lot of you may not have traveled enough to seeing these different types of ethnic groups like AD and CJ.
Yep.
Moving on, unless you want to add something.
And there's a misunderstanding, because that's why we started the video off with the trees and the oxygen and all that, to show y'all we've been trained to look at all of this is coming from the East or Africa, and don't think outside of that framework. You feel what I'm saying? But now that we've grown outside that with scientific proof, let's continue. Let's not just say, oh, okay, the trees are bigger. It's not just that simple. Just like you see the biggest rodent in Australia, right? So we're showing the global network of the origins of people and species.
Very well said. So going from this book, Giants on Record, reputable accounts of giants come from all over the world, just as CJ was just saying to you. Says Hugh Newman, co-author with Jim Somebody of Giants on Records, America's Hidden History, blah, blah, blah. An extinct, genetically distinct subspecies of Homo sapiens was discovered just a decade ago in Denisova cave in Siberia called the Denisovans. I'm going to skip all of this for time's sake. Going back over to the Patagonians, dealing with those giants is what this is depicting. You're going to see the conquistadors seeing these big men. Giants weren't different from ancient humans, just taller, but we don't really know because we can't get access to many bones or DNA because the NAGPRA Act, meaning the Native American Grave Protection and Reparation Act, requiring institutions that receive federal funding to return Native American cultural items to their descendants. Family, the reason you can't find the bones is because if you dig up my grandma's bones, you got to give them to my family. You can't keep those in the Smithsonian. Well, where are the bones at? Grandma bones is with her family. Go ask the family. You can't just expect to take somebody's bones and put them on display for the world to see. That's inhumane. Moving on. Since 1990, it's been almost impossible to gain access to anything due to test. Anything to do test on. It's one of the reasons the book Giants on Record, because it's one of the reasons the book Giants on Records, because we had to use the record as the evidence rather than the bones, even though we have many academics who actually dug them up and reported them. I personally don't think they're alien human hybrids or anything like that. But if you look into the legends and oral traditions of the Native Americans, you'll find accounts of them interbreeding with star people from the sky. This is according to the ancestors. So if you're going to say it's disrespectful, you're going to have to say that the ancestors are disrespectful. You're going to have to say that the culture of these people are disrespectful. You're going to have to step on their ethnology in order to dookie on this. Oh, we don't believe the Irish. They're a bunch of drinkers. Hold on, family. That's a little bit racist. When you just dismiss a race of people and their way of life and their belief system, I'd have to challenge anyone who would do something of that nature. There are stories within some of their same tribes that ended up being giants. Most of the accounts in North America have to do with the Mound culture, in which North American communities over a 5,000-year period built earthen mounds for ceremonial and elite residential purposes, based around the Ohio Valley down to the Mississippi River and splitting into different parts of the country. Whether they're the Adinas, who are the earliest from 500 BCE to 100 AD in southern Ohio, stand up. If there's anybody in the building from Ohio or in Ohio, please drop your favorite emoji. Or the Hopewell, known as the Mound Builders from 200 to 500 BC, or Fort Ancient, who built the alligator and serpent mounds in southern Ohio. Right now, right next to Ohio is over there in Illinois. The very bottom of Illinois is East St. Louis, right next to Missouri, which is St. Louis. East St. Louis, the very tip of Ohio, I'm sorry, excuse me, the very tip of Illinois, from Illinois, Missouri, and Ohio, you in that tri-state area, it's illegal to dig. You can't just go over there and just dig. You can't dig more than 3 feet in that tri-state area without getting an archaeologist on deck. I have been there. See, I don't know how well-traveled the family is. I personally have put my hands in the dirt. I've been over there. There are more mounds in that area than anywhere in the world. In the world, Craig, the world. Somebody tell me where I got that from. Wait, why you say the world, Craig? Where's that from? The world, Craig. There are more mounds in that tri-state area than anywhere else in the world that we know of. As of right now, you can't go in that area and dig without having an archaeologist on site, or you're going to jail. You're going to jail. You can't. You go over there and try to dig. They're going to take you to jail. You're going to jail, Craig. Not flight security.
Facts.
We have mound culture sites going back 4,000 BC, and we
Hold on. Conscious Connect got it right next Friday, and Chaz G put Friday after next. Which one was that? Next Friday or Friday after? That was Friday after next, huh? When they had the security job for Christmas.
I think it was. I'm going to ask the listening
Remember,
audience.
next Friday. Look, I got you. Next Friday is when they was in Rancho Cucamonga with Baby
Friday
D
after
and all.
next.
Yeah. So
Correct.
Friday after next is the Christmas.
Thank you. Keep me honest. The world, Craig. Top flight security. That's right. Shout out to LA. Crip Jesus on it. And we have very early evidence of giants in the Southwest that have nothing to do with the mounds. This is a newspaper article. This isn't a book. This isn't Magellan and the gang. Discovery of giant skeletons, a splendid haul of giants. This is before that, before the Native American Grave Protection and Repatriation Act. Discovery, a splendid haul of giant skulls is reported from Homer in the United States. The district is a prolific field of Indiana mounds. Indiana, Illinois, Ohio, Missouri, more mounds in that area than anywhere. Tap all the way in. And that's the rest of that article. I'm not going to read the whole thing for time. Lovelock Cave. That's a big one. Presented by Hugh Newman, co-author of The Giants on Record. Lovelock Cave, red-haired giants of ancient Nevada. We have red-haired mummies found in Lovelock Cave in Nevada, discovered in 1911, and corresponding to Pikachu, I'm being disrespectful, please forgive me. The Paiute oral history about a tribe of giant cannibals. Ross Hamilton, who we call the godfather of giantology, was in touch with Vine Delora Jr., a Native American scholar and activist, and Vine Delora Jr. had access to all. Anybody know how much all is? All these elders who shared their stories going back far, 12,000 to 13,000 years ago. This is oral tradition. There are stories of mammoths hanging out with giant humans. In fact, one of the stories we feature from Vine Delora Jr. is that they herd mammoths like they were cattle. The ancestors were herding woolly mammoths like they were cattle. This scene, this is a gift. What occult TV show is this gift from? AD, if you know it, give me the answer. CJ, if you know it, give me the answer. And the listening audience, the scene that I have right now that's showing, where did I get that from? What TV show? It's not a movie. That's your only hint. It's a TV show. And what TV show are these group of giants riding on mammoths. Anybody in the audience? Is there one?
I'm gonna guess Star Trek.
No, sir.
Oh, where's my buzzer?
Akuma.
Mm,
Akuma got it. Akuma. Akuma got the answer right.
Game of
Akuna
Thrones.
Matata. This scene is from the TV show Game of Thrones. It's from Game of Thrones. And I'm sorry, Akuma. I was just kind of being silly. Please forgive me.
Akuma Matata.
Right. So yeah, this is from Game of Thrones. Tap all the way in. Mammoth, Game of Thrones, training and riding a mammoth during the Battle of Castle Black. Mammoths are used mounts by the race of giants who inhabit this family. Where did Game of Thrones get this from? You seen Game of Thrones. I seen Game of Thrones. The giants were riding mammoths. Where you get that from? Oh, yeah. Lovelock Cave, the oral tradition of those people in Nevada. Anyway,
I want to point this out too.
Please.
There was a man named Francisco de Chicora. That's not his birth name. He was kidnapped from North Carolina, and let me see. I talk about him in the Blue Bible, but he was kidnapped from North Carolina. I want to say South Carolina. That's where they still have the city named Chicora, Cherokee, to this day. And when they brought him to Spain and baptized him and gave him the name, Chicora, Francisco, and all of that, he gave them reports of the civilization over here. Okay, they kidnapped them in 1521. Like I said in the book of the Blue Bible, the Christians first learned of our civilization after kidnapping Francisco de Chicora in 1521. So when they took him over there, he talked about red-haired giants. In his description of everything that is in the Americas that left them so flabbergasted, one of the main themes was the red-haired giants. If I'm not mistaken, they called them the Sitika, right? And this is the same people in this cave of Lovelock and Game of Thrones, the Sitika. So this is not something like this, a character they made up. They have a name for this tribe. They have excavated this area, and they have reports of people that were in the Indian slave trade sent to the Europe from here who spoke about this. I would even link it to the legend of Bigfoot, Sasquatch.
Factory. So maybe related to Cardiff giants. Bones of a human skeleton 11 feet high are dug up in Nevada. This is not tinfoilhat.com. This is according to St. Paul Globe, January 24th, 1904. Of course, this is before it was against the law to dig up Indian bones and put them in a museum. Digging gravel here today uncovered in a depth of about 12 feet a lot of bones, part of the skeleton of a gigantic human being. Dr. Samuels examined them and pronounced them to be the bones of a man who must have been nearly 11 feet in height. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but you get it. Mayenko Karus. So, because I think some people in the audience were either skeptical or saying something, blah, blah, blah. But I wanted to confirm, this isn't I forgot what the word is when you over exaggerate. But anyway, I guess it's just over exaggeration. Manenko Karu, around 1868, his unaliving is unknown, was a sideshow actor. Since he was huge and tattooed, he appeared worldwide as an exotic giant in sideshows. He is said to have been Sioux, who was captured by U.S. soldiers. Among other things, he is also called the Congo giant, because even though they called him Indian, fine, hyperbole, thank you. Thank you, Alex. All good, Ali. Good. I didn't. This is not hyperbole. I love that word. Or embellishment. There's another. Somebody else said embellishment. That's another great word as well. This is seriously, verily I say unto thee, family. This is the pod class. You gonna learn today. Anyway, these ancient Indians were black people. I'm not going into that tonight, but I digress. In the 1880s, when he was 19, he performed at Barnum and Bailey Circus. He was presented as a giant 8 foot 3 1/8 tall and weighed 338 pounds. So you can see to the far left, they depicted him as a narrow nose, thin lipped, stringy hair European. I'm sorry, Indian, excuse me. However, if you look to the far right, he had a wide nose, thick lips, the bamboo earrings that we used to wear in the 80s, and he had an afro. That's a brother. That's a brother.
And what's crazy is he's described as Indian in everywhere you look him up, but they call him the Congo giant. So this was to feed into the whole African thing.
Come on.
So it's like anybody of large stature or darker hue or of more coarse hair is African. Not even a specific country, just African, right? So we see that this reclassification and declassification has been going on.
Factory.
In my new book, The Black Indian Wars, I trace it all the way back to the 1500s when the Pope had outlawed enslaving the native people here after Bartholomew had complained, and they outlawed enslaving the natives for a long time. So a lot of people would enslave natives and document them down as Africans to avoid, the penalties. Well, not when I say they, let me be specific. The Pope. So this was enforced on the Catholics. This was not enforced on the Protestants or the English.
Talk black to me. Okay. I saw somebody in the comments. Very, very impressive. And I don't know if they said, are you going to talk about the Satchwahanics, or should you, or they just maybe mention it? I can't remember, but I saw the word in here already. So, which leads me to believe that the family is really in tune. AD was saying before we went live, or maybe at the beginning of the live, this group of people under the banner of Killah Priest are a very informed group of people. And I have to confirm he's all wise, right, and exact on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Can I say this? 1537 AD, Pope Paul III opposes enslaving native peoples. Pope Paul III issues a decree, the Sublimis Deus, opposing the enslavement of indigenous peoples and calling them true man. This papal bull becomes the policy of Spain's leaders, but conquistadors and colonists break with it. So this is the beginning of the declassification and reclassification of these giants that they were enslaving over here and saying, oh, they're Africans. We brought them from somewhere. They're just big. They're big old Africans, big Amazon Africans, from which they had in parts of Africa, but this was the way to, take away your nationality. Your giant nationality. Let me put that. Your ethnicity. You know what I'm saying? The ethnic groups that these giants belong to. This was a way to kill those names and titles and in cultures.
Factory. So, AD, if I play this video, is the family going to be able to hear it?
It depends if you shared sound on your end.
Let me.
So in the share area, you might see, because Zoom's, redone a few things. Look for a thing that says share sound. It's in the share settings.
Sound. Bingo. Okay.
There you
go. Did I hit the wrong button?
Once you hit play, we'll know.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, I see. Here we go. Check this out.
Not long after arriving in the New World, Captain John Smith explored and mapped the Chesapeake Bay and its tributaries. In 1608, at the mouth of the Chesapeake, he met a tribe known as the Susquehannocks, who were much larger than Europeans and other indigenous tribes of the area. Smith recorded the following in his writings. Such great and well-proportioned men are seldom seen, for they seem like giants to the English, yea, and to their neighbors. These people were so large they had booming voices, Smith wrote. For their language it may well beseem their proportions, sounding from them as if it were a great voice in a vault or cave as an echo. The mighty Susquehannocks are depicted on a map that Smith drew of the Chesapeake. Back in those days, maps were as much works of art as they were reference materials. There's a large man in the upper right corner. Smith said the following regarding the enormous man on his map. The picture of the greatest of them is signified in the map, the calf of whose leg was 3/4 of a yard about, and the rest of his limbs so answerable to that proportion, that he seemed the goodliest man we have ever beheld. His hair on one side was long, the other shore close to a ridge over his crown, like a coxcomb. I stand at 5'10". Measuring from the bottom of my foot to my knee, the length is about 19 inches. The man on the map had a calf which measured 27 inches. A massive man indeed.
Crumb.
TV.
So dealing with the Susquehannocks, and somebody like towards the beginning of the live was talking about it already. So very impressive that the family knew about that. So the Susquehannock were upwards of 7 to 8 feet compared to the Europeans of those times. It says Susquehannock Indian fort located at this point was an important factor in the boundaries of line controversial between blah blah blah. Let me see. I'm gonna skip that for the whatever of time. But you can see the Susquehannock people here. Ignore the women's milk jugs, but you can see that they are of significant stature compared to the Europeans. Finding giant skeleton. The Susquehannock, they were in the Maryland area. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but while excavating for a building in the rear of the Morgan property here yesterday, William somebody is a contractor unearthed parts of a giant skeleton. The find was under the flat stone and weighed about half a ton. The body had evidently been placed in a shallow excavation and this stone put over it. Excuse me. Please forgive me. San Francisco Giants family. It's not a game. Crumb, it's just a game. No, it's not a game. They were trying to tell you something. The San Francisco Giants is a Major League Baseball originated in New York City. It originated in New York City as the New York Gothams in 1883 and were known as the New York Giants from 1885 until the team relocated to San Francisco after 1957. Race of primeval giants. This is New York, the New York Giants, which became the San Francisco Giants. New York, Tuesday, recent excavations made under the supervision of the faculty of Stanford University, California, indicate that the entire peninsula of South San Francisco was once inhabited by a race of giants. This is according to Stanford. And it goes on. I'm not reading the whole thing for time's sake. This is biggest the world, Sunday, October 6, 1895, the biggest giant ever known, 9 feet high and probably a prehistoric California Indian. Other men and women of fact and fable who are famous types, blah, blah, blah. I'm not reading all of that, but you get it. So this is the picture that they published then. And the original picture I have to the right-hand side. So you can see, this is not a work of fiction. Giant skeletons found. Archaeologists to send expedition to explore graveyards in New Mexico where bodies were unearthed. Los Angeles, California. I'm gonna skip that. Trace of giants found in desert. Los Angeles, California. A retired Ohio doctor has discovered relics of an ancient civilization whose men were 8 to 9 feet tall in the Colorado desert near the Arizona, Nevada, California line. An associate said today. Moving on. That's just a continuation of that previous article. I can't even read it. It's too blurry. Some gigantic, maybe, human remains found. A letter from Kern County, California, reports that
For those that don't know, Kern County is Central California, like Bakersfield, Fresno. This is going towards what's called I believe it's the Chocolate Hills or Chocolate Mountains. They found a lot of gold and a lot of very dark indigenous people there.
factory. And where AD and CJ would be, and correct me if I'm wrong, where you guys are at would be considered SoCal or Southern California. Am I right, AD?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the Bay Area, that would be like North California.
The Bay Area would be north, but it would be the San Francisco Bay Area.
Yeah.
So that's where that term really comes from, the San Francisco Bay. So it's Vallejo, Oakland, Berkeley, up in there.
E40.
Like Sacramento and all that, that's not the Bay. That's like northern, you feel what I'm saying?
That's where E40 is from.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Tell me when to go.
Tell me when to go. Okay. So yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for adding context to that. Context is always king. Giant skeletons found on coast. Again, family. Los Angeles, SoCal stand up. July 18th. William Derbyshire and Jack Stoneberger of Chicago and Robert somebody. I'm not reading this whole thing. You get it. Smithsonian giants. The Iroquois, the Osage, and the Tuscaroosas, the Hurons, the Omahas, and many other North American Indians, anybody know how much all is? All speak of giant men who once lived and roamed in the territories of their forefathers. All over what is now the United States are traditions of these ancient giants. Every indigenous people in America. Yeah, wow. Somebody said, and we the sleeping giants if we don't know. Y'all teaching. The pod class is on fire. Moving forward. There are 17 accounts of 7 to 8 foot giants in the Smithsonian's own scientific annual reports. Crumble, how come they didn't tell us this in school? Because the Smithsonian was hiding it. Smithsonian gets huge Indian skull. Washington, October 5th. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, but you get it. Annual report of the Board of Regents of the Smithsonian Institute, 1874. Pursuing my investigation and excavating farther toward the southeast face of the mound, I came upon the largest size stone axe I had ever seen or that had ever been found in the country. Close to it was the largest and most perfect cranium of the mound, not crushed by the pressure of the earth, complete in its form, with all the teeth in the upper and lower jaws. Nearby the side of this skull were the right femoris and tibia, the humerus, ulna, and part of the radius, with a portion of the pelvis directly under the skull. These are body parts if you don't recognize these words. I don't even recognize the words. I just know they're body parts. All of the other bones of this large skeleton were completely or partially decayed. Anticipating a perfect specimen in this skull, I was doomed to disappoint. For after taking it out of the earth and setting it up so that I could view the fleshless face of the gigantic savage, In the space of 2 hours, it crumbled to pieces, except small portions. He should have took pictures before you touched it. According to the measurement of the bones of the skeleton, its height must have been 7 feet. The source is the annual report of the Board of Regents of the Smithsonian Institute, showing the operations, expenditures, and conditions of the Institute of the year 1874. That's documentation. This is not tinfoilhat.com. This is not Black People Want to Be Indians and Giants.org. This is the Smithsonian, their 5th annual report. Following the excerpts refers to the investigation of Mound 5 in John Davies County, Illinois. I told you about Illinois. We're going to go over it. Y'all going to learn today. In the 1883-1884 season, lying at full length upon its back was one of the largest skeletons discovered by the Bureau agents. This is discovered by the Bureau agents of the Smithsonian. The length was, as proved by actual measurements, being between 7 and 8 feet. It was all clearly traceable, but crumbled to pieces immediately after removal from the hard earth in which it was encased. You shouldn't have touched it. You should have took pictures, assuming they did take pictures and just didn't show us, assuming it did crumble and we're just taking it at face value. This report was republished in the 12th annual report of 1894, according to the Smithsonian. The 12th annual report of the Bureau of Ethnology, 1894, following the excerpt refers to the investigation of Mound 12 in Rowan County, Tennessee in 1889. These Indians were not building pyramids. At the time, they were called a ziggurat or a mound. We're the mound builders. We're the ziggurat builders. The limestone pyramids came later. Mound 12 measured 52 feet in diameter and 5 feet high, and like the preceding, consisted chiefly of red clay, closely packed and very hard. At the bottom of this, resting on the original surface of the ground, was a very large skeleton lying horizontal at full length. Although very soft, the bones were sufficiently distinct to allow of careful measurement before attempting to remove them. These individuals, fully 7.5 feet tall, this was the only burial in the mound. Right now, if you try to go to one of these mounds and dig something up, they will lock your goofy tail up. Put your hands behind your back. What are you doing? You can't go and dig up the mounds today. This is before, not after. This is before the what is this act called? I read it in the very beginning. This is before the Native American Grave Protection Act. The Native American Grave Protection and Repatriation Act. Repatriation means go back to where you came from. You dig those bones up, you're going to have to send them back where they came from. This is before that. Moving on. Did I pass that already? Yeah, I read that. I read 12. 3 huge skeletons of humans found. Tennessee. Tennessee.
Oh, and hold on.
Please.
Hold on. Let me remember Tennessee, Alabama, Tuscaloosa. Right? This is now Tuscaloosa is a known city, but Tuscaloosa is the name of a chief that was there when they first came to Alabama. Right? They reported giants. The Spanish people, the conquistadors that first arrived there, and they had a war called the Battle at Mobila. You can Google it, you can search it, you can do whatever. You feel what I'm saying? So now they weren't giant, let's say like 1 million feet and all that, but they described them for sure as being way at least a foot or two over their average, averaging 7 and 7 feet and over. You know what I mean?
Amen, church. Amen, church.
And for those that want to know, it's Mabila, the Battle of Mobila, and the fortified city that was Mobila is actually gone now. So the battle is about a city that they don't even know where it's at.
Yo, can I add something that's in the chat?
Please.
Heso Esot Eric TV says, bruh, I got a cousin who's 8'8" right here in the rack. Most of my family are anywhere from 6'3" to 7'2". My old man was 6'9". I'm 6'4". These are not the real giants. They're the leftovers. Shout out to Heso Esot Eric TV.
He
Just
said,
to be clear, it was Hernando de Soto. That's the conquistador that came to Alabama and met Tuscaloosa. So yeah, this is all right and exact.
teach.
Crazy.
Smithsonian admits to destructions of thousands of giant human skeletons in the early 1900s. Ain't that something, y'all? Smithsonian admits to destruction of thousands of giant. Remember, this is the destruction of the graves of our ancestors. They went to your ancestors' ancient burial. This is holy ground. They went to the holy grounds. They dug grandma up and destroyed her body. Come on, somebody. It reads, a U.S. Supreme Court ruling has forced the Smithsonian Institution to release classified papers dating from the early 1900s that proves the organization was involved in a major historical cover-up.
They always destroy history, man. They always destroy history.
Factory.
It's like the Aztecs.
Please elaborate.
And the Mayans, they had all of their stuff destroyed and burned.
Right.
You know what I mean?
All facts. Amen, church.
And that's how they maintain control. They have to keep the people blind. It's another form of the Matrix, constantly destroying truth and history so their Matrix can hold power.
Factory.
Just in a different time period, in a different setup, in a different way.
The glory of the hunt will always go to the hunter, meaning the one who wins the battle is the one who gets to tell the story of history. The guy who wins the battle, a part of his spoils of war is that he gets to tell the story of history.
Now, somebody said in the chat that 8'8", what the hell? The tallest man on earth? Because right now they have as the tallest man, but this is documented, y'all. We got to stop acting like, oh, Google said it and it's just official, because I've Googled who's the oldest person living and was able to prove him wrong.
That's the point of the Guinness Book of World Records is supposed to be like the archive, the ultimate, even though it's all dumb stuff now, but Guinness is supposed to be, the record holders.
Well, I think that's where a lot of Google bases is off of Guinness. And it's like, sometimes, you get to get into your nerdy stuff and digging deeper and deeper and find something else. Like, wait, hold on. They're not talking about this. So right now they have it as Sultan Kosin. It's a Turkish farmer, I believe.
Yeah.
And he's 8'1".
The one I have says 8 feet 2.8 inches.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the guy who
over
holds
8 feet. That's what my point is.
Yeah. He's had the tallest man record since 2009.
Because I even seen something else that said 8'3". So I don't.
But he has an extraordinary condition called pituitary gigantism, which is excessive growth hormone production.
Okay.
Crazy.
Teach. Heavy mental.
It's like reverse dwarfism.
Ooh. You kind of blew my mind with that one, AD. AD, did you see the movie Unbreakable?
No.
In the movie Unbreakable, there's a guy with soft bones, super soft bones. And he says, I know that there's somebody with super hard bones because, there has to be two sides to every coin. And it was who was it? Samuel L. Jackson and Bruce Willis. But yeah.
Okay. I'll check that out.
This is the opposite of dwarfism.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's crazy. I always thought, growing up that life was like Star Wars. And then as I got older and I learned stuff, I realized it's more like Lord of the Rings as far as the creatures that existed with the dwarfs and the giants. You know what I mean? Seems more plausible. But go ahead.
A ruling from the Supreme Court forced the Smithsonian Institution to release classified documents dating from the early 1900s, proving that the org had been involved in a historical cover-up of evidence showing giant human remains in the tens of thousands that were uncovered across America that were ordered to be destroyed by upper-level admin to ensure the protection of the mainstream chronology of human evolution. Allegations were made by the American Institution of Alternative Archaeology that the Smithsonian Institution had destroyed thousands of giant human remains during the early 1900s. The Smithsonian sued the organization for defamation and the damage of the 168-year-old institution. During the court case, new evidence was brought in as several Smithsonian whistleblowers admitted to the existence of documents that allegedly proved the destruction of thousands of humans from 6 to 12 feet tall. A reality mainstream archaeologist cannot admit to, for different reasons, claim the AIAA spokesman, James Sherwood. I'm sure I either had a typo somewhere, but hopefully the family gets it. Moving on. There has been a major cover-up by Western archaeological institutions since the early 1900s to make us believe that America was first colonized by Asians migrating through the Bering Strait 15,000 years ago, when in fact there were hundreds of thousands of burial mounds all over America, which were there a long time before them, and that show traces of a highly developed civilization, complex use of metal alloys, and where giant human skeleton remains are frequently found but still go unreported in the media and news outlets, he explains. A turning point of the case was when a 1.3 meter long human femur bone was shown as evidence in the court of the existence of such giant human bones. The evidence came as a blow as the bone had been stolen from the Smithsonian by one of their higher level curators in the mid 1930s. He kept the bone all his life and admitted on his deathbed in writing the undercover operation of the Smithsonian. It is a terrible thing that has been done to the American people, he wrote in his letter. We are hiding the truth about the forefathers of humanity, our ancestors, the giants who roamed the earth as recalled in the Bible and the ancient world texts. The U.S. Supreme Court has forced the Smithsonian Institution to publicly release all classified information about anything related to the destruction of evidence pertaining to the mound builder culture and the elements relative to human skeletons of greater height than usual, a ruling the AIAA is highly enthusiastic about. The public release of these documents will help archaeologists and historians to reevaluate current theories about human evolution and help us greater our understanding of the mound builder culture in America and around the world, explains AIAA Director Hans Gutenberg. So these are some of the things unearthed after that landmark case. And I know that
fun fact,
please.
My bad. Fun fact, the mound builder culture, talking about early Mississippian, was classified under Empress Verdiachi in 1993 as Indigenous Peoples 215/93, Washita de Doug de Mania. Real people.
Teach. Factory. Newspapers, giants. There are 1,500 newspaper accounts in North America of giant bones and skeletons being unearthed. Here are just a few. Ontario got a couple, and there's some pictures of Ontario. Remarkable race of polar giants. This is in Ontario, obviously. Canada, I'm joking, Canada. And since we're on a roll with mispronouncing, Wisconsin, shout out to I can put you in a mansion way out in Wisconsin. I'm just being silly. Y'all gotta bear with me.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Ever since I heard that song, I've been calling it Wisconsin my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just joking. So Wisconsin Mound open, skeleton found of a man over 9 feet high. I'm not going to read the rest of that. Oklahoma. I'm full of them tonight. Y'all, please do not pay me no mind. Oklahoma Giants. Indiana skeletons found under Oklahoma Mound. And I highlighted or underlined 9 feet tall. Um, 6 giant skeletons of ancient Indians found. Norman, Oklahoma. Kentucky. I don't have one for Kentucky. Some weird, funny name. Mystery still surrounds Ohio County bones. This is Monday, May 12th, 2003. So all the other ones were from the 1900s, but Kentucky found one in 2003, which is about 2 decades ago, a little bit less than 2 decades ago. Pennsylvania, giant bones and mounds, skeletons unearthed, relics of Indians who lived 700 years ago. Moving forward, there's just more. I'm not reading all of this. It's a lot in Pennsylvania because in that area there was a lot of giants in that area. Ohio, Illinois, Missouri, that area. Pennsylvania, obviously. Michigan, body.
Well, another fun fact. Remember in 1933, they recognized people, the Moors there as in a native people, but a native people as far as before the Europeans, claiming that they had came there from North Africa, which is what we started this video with, the land of the giants. So it's another fun fact, linking Pennsylvania to the rest of this video.
Factory. Now this is Saturday, September 6, 1919. Body of giants found in Michigan. And there's the article. I think that's the article. Jackson, Michigan. Idaho, no, Idaho. I'm just family. Ain't no serious. Prehistoric bones found. Skeleton 10 feet long discovered in southern Idaho cave. This is Boise, Idaho. Montana, a petrified giant. There we go with the word petrified. Some interesting discoveries have just been made in the cave called King Solomon's Cave, Montana, United States, and an account of them is given by a correspondent of the Deer Lodge Independent, blah, 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 so on and so forth. That's just a continuation of that article. Mexico, because there was a war against the giants. Go back to the Bible with the Nephilim. Crip Jesus already told you, the Hopi ancestors told you there was a war against the giants. A group of natives in central highlands of Mexico capturing and putting to unalive a giant from the Codex Vaticano A8V. More. Giant skeletons found. Cave in Mexico gives up the bones of an ancient race. Special to the New York Times, blah, blah, blah. That's just a continuation of that. There's the conquistadors going to war with the giants. Look like he throwing pokeballs. I'm just being silly. Giant human skeletons 10 to 12 feet tall found in Mexican cave. This is more in Mexico. 10-foot giants explorers discovery in Mexico. There goes Juan Chavez. That his name is not Juan Chavez. I'm just being stereotypical. Please charge that to my mind, not my heart. Oregon giants. Right, thank you. Skeleton of giant Indians are found. Oregon. Texas. A giant skeleton 18 feet tall. Austin, Texas. Tap all the way in. Beach giant skull unearthed by WPA workers near Victoria. This is in Texas, y'all. Remember, I know I'm being silly, but everything's bigger in Texas, right? Listen, pay me no mind. Do me a favor. Don't do me no favors. A giant skeleton, 18 feet tall. This is that's the rest of that article. Arizona finds bones, giant people. Skeleton of giant found at Juniper. Ancient burying ground uncovered. Skeletons found indicate race of giants once lived on banks of Sycamore Creek. There's the article for that. Mississippi. M-I, cricket letter I, cricket. I don't know how the song goes. Exhumation of a gigantic human skeleton. That's in Mississippi, and that's the rest of the article. Search reveals huge skeletons of extinct race. That's the Mississippi. That's the rest of that article. Indiana, mound builders' bones. These were the mound builders, your ancestors and mine. Skeleton of a giant unearthed in Indiana by workmen. That's the rest of that article. Colorado. Okay, family, listen, we all get the picture. Land of the Giants. I rest my case.
I want to add this in there just for fun. Between 1949 and 1952, they excavated over there in Mexico some Mayan ruins, right? And they found a brother they like to call Pakal the Great. And his tomb was 7 feet by 12 feet. Okay? This was a very big man right here, all right? So,
if you're looking to buy a home, don't be fooled to think you should wait until you have all your ducks in a row before calling it. If you're looking to buy a home, don't be fooled to think you should wait until you have all your ducks in a row before calling a banker.
Can y'all hear me?
If you're looking to buy a
Nope.
No, I can.
Something happening. Hold on a second.
If you're looking by
Wow. Oh, I see what happened. My bad, y'all. I've been working with commercial stuff and something popped up here. We good. Proceed. You there?
Yeah, I was just saying I personally rest my case.
Oh, nice. That was the end of the presentation?
Yes, sir. Part 1 and part 2. Land of the Giants, America.
Nice.
That's 3 hours of Giants, man. I don't think they can't take no more. Their head gonna blow. If you don't believe it by now, you must just be mad. Like all this stuff, all this crap.
Man. No, that's fire.
Thank you.
Hold on a second. Where's my round of applause? I don't have this on my board. Now, hold on a second. Oh, I gotta move this like this. That's better. Yeah. Great presentation. Any questions? Let's check the super chat. We've already gotten some super chats here that popped up. Let me read them. 1 second. Let's see. Okay. Hanzo1 here says, great show. I'm loving this topic. Very interested to me. Cheers, Podcraft. Keep it going. I'm about to watch Jack and the Beanstalk movie with different view. And Avatar, Attack on Titans, etc. Okay. Let's see. FG asks, when is Crumb gonna do a Tartarian PowerPoint act? Like let's see, since it popped up. Yeah, Tartarian PowerPoint. Soon?
Yes, sir.
Nice. First Cause says that would have been a groundbreaking discovery and would have taken the world by storm, but the seem like the reports of UFOs, no pictures. All right.
Maybe that was a latecomer. I showed a lot of pictures actually, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, oh, I think he's talking about like in general, the reports of UFOs are showing no pictures.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like in the general public.
Well, I would even challenge that. There was somebody who even they had well actually it was after World War II. After World War II, America goes in and confiscates the booty, BOOTY, meaning the bounty of war, and they they find UFO remnants from your boy Hitler. In addition to that, old boy Admiral Byrd under Operation High Jump documents UFOs actually coming out of water. In addition to that, the first person to give a patent on how to build a UFO is none other than one of the greatest minds of the last 1,000 years, none other than Nikola Tesla. And I'm sure the family doesn't know that because Elon Musk has really pushed the flying cars thing or the electric cars. But yes, Nikola Tesla has a blueprint document that he had sent that has been patent. He sent it to the patent office of how to build a UFO using anti-gravity.
No shit. Nice. All right, Crip Jesus, you there?
Yes, sir.
Anything to add?
Oh no. I'm chilling, man. This was beautiful. I feel all stones have been turned.
Nice. All right, so that is it for that segment. So thank you again for that. We're gonna try to run a commercial. We just got we're building a commercial break type deal. So we're gonna be experimenting with that here soon before we do the song promotion segment. Y'all ready to stick around for the song promotions?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Okay, first I'm going to test this commercial because I think there might be a problem with the audio. So I'm going to test this out real quick. Let me see if this works. Hold on a second.
If you're looking to buy a home, don't be fooled.
Okay. So I'm going to get the audio fixed on that. Let's do the song promotion segment for now. Here we go.
Song promotions. You send in your music, we play it live on the show for Killah Priest and the world to hear.
All right. Yeah. That's what's up. So we're going to do the song promotions. As y'all know, we play tracks that were submitted to the show. But first, we're going to do this commercial that we got going because we're starting to... Our sponsors got commercials now. So I'm getting it set up to automatically get that popping just like I do for the song promotions intro. So I'm going to pull this up right now. One second. Here we go. Boom. All right. Oh, shit.
Months or years from now.
Oh, I gotta take it
us.
from the top. I had the audio muted. It's one of them days. Here we
If
go.
you're looking to buy a home, don't be fooled to think you should wait until you have all your ducks in a row before calling a banker. Call the Mazer team now at 949-433-7594 so you don't waste time, money, and opportunities later. The Mazer team at OmniFund Inc. has more than 60 years of combined mortgage experience. We also have in-house real estate sales agents with a nationwide network of trusted fiduciaries and realtors that, in collaborative generosity with us at the lender, offer concessions and credit significantly better than industry standards. We go above and beyond for our home buyers and clients. The Mazer team is committed to helping you realize your dreams, whether they come true in the next few months or years from now. Contact us at 949-433-7594 or on our website at themazerteam.com. Licensed by the Department of Real Estate 021883887 and MLS license 1411789.
Hey,
you're looking
That is our first commercial break right there. So hell yeah. Shout out to our new sponsor. I gotta get that fixed with some automation in the future, but that was the premiere of that. So y'all seeing it live.
Congratulations.
Yeah, man. Thank you. And if you guys are interested in submitting any kind of advertisements, either on screen or commercial wise, contact ad@killahpriest.tv. All right, let's go. Song promotion segment. Going right into it. Our first submission for today is by an artist named Jerry Brown from Mansfield, Ohio. Song is called Catching Shots. Here we go.
Monstrosity.
Nah, get the fuck off me. Get the fuck off me, yo. What you holding me back for? It's what the fuck they wanted, right? They wanted district to walk back in the church.
You people have been chosen to reveal our existence to the world. You will witness what happens here today, and you will tell of it later.
Yo, they looking down the scope, they think they found him a target. The last of a breed, I feel like I'm being martyred. I'm a force here, even if catching me on an off year. Flow still hitting like I'm driving in fourth gear. Walk up in the booth and say all clear, scanning the room. Do you niggas realize how you called here? The chance of getting lyrically mauled here. Speak out of turn for every bar, leave a piece of you scarred here. People won't believe what they saw here. How you take the science of a man and wipe his chemistry off here. Thinking that the symmetry's soft here. Wanting my space, but you don't know how much it mentally costs here. I get it, y'all just thought it was y'all, yeah. Thinking you gon' keep that same motherfucking confidence all year. Takes a real artist to draw here. Your rhyming is an ordinance, my word is like a federal law here. I thought I heard shots, who the fuck is they really aiming at? Talking about legacy, fuckers they gon' say to that. Pedal to the floor like it's aliens in the building. I felt it in the air to get saying it's just a feeling. Thought I heard shots, who the fuck is they really aiming at? Talking about legacy, fuckers they gon' say to that. Pedal to the floor like it's aliens in the building. I felt it in the air to get saying it's just a feeling. For heaven's sake, give him his own fire and let him bake. These niggas ain't grounded, I take it they wanna levitate. Let him wait, kids gon' need a minute to meditate. Thanks he done decipher the God flow, I bet he ain't. Speaking for the record, you think it's slightly ironic that with all this extra effort they still dying divided. Provided I had to write it with vitamins put inside it while I itemize the items that likely will get collided. In spite of what you incited or any fucker decided, I'ma ride it till I put your biology in the climate. I'm beside it, they ain't looking like no diamonds to me. My alignment got me tied into a higher degree. The assignment is in light of what's inspiring me. Perfect timing for the universe acquiring me. Took the secrets of the stars, let them hide it in me. And we can see just what the other fucking side of it be. I thought I heard shots, who the fuck is they really aiming at? Talk about legacy, fuckers they gon' say to that. Pedal to the floor like it's aliens in the building. I felt it in the air, they kept saying it's just a feeling. Thought I heard shots, who the fuck is they really aiming at? Talk about legacy, fuckers they gon' say to that. Pedal to the floor like it's aliens in the building. I felt it in the air, they kept saying it's just a feeling. I thought I heard shots, who the fuck is they really aiming at? Talk about legacy, fuckers they gon' say to that. Pedal to the floor like it's aliens in the building. I felt it in the air, they kept saying it's just a feeling. I thought I heard shots, who the fuck is they really aiming at?
That's what I'm talking about right there. That's the music I want to hear. That's in my whip. That is fire. I love it. I love every bit of it, the way it's mixed, the way it's recorded. Those artists are fire. Yo, that was dope as hell. What y'all think?
Heat. That was heat rock.
Heat rock.
He blacked out on that one.
Mm-hmm.
The horns.
Yeah.
The instrumental. The cadence in which he was spitting. The lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's how you feel? Yeah. Ba 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 ba.
Raw, uncut, real New York hip hop, man. I ain't heard nothing that good in a minute. Salute. Yeah. For real, for real.
That's what's up. Yeah, that was fire. I am already subscribed, I see. But that was Catching Shots by Jerry Brown from Mansfield, Ohio. Beat was by Monstrosity on the Beats. Video by Mind Capsule Media, courtesy of DAD Entertainment, in association with the 419 Legends YouTube channel and the Sunday Dinner podcast. They submitted the song before, but KP didn't get a chance to hear it. KP's definitely listening and watching right now, so he is definitely going to hear it. And we'll get his response also when he comes back. He'll be here tomorrow. But that was straight fire. What a way to start the segment with that. But I need to look that up because I want to get that in my whip. I want to make sure that's added to my title playlist. All right, let's go. Next up now, we got a track. Oh, wait a minute. That's from last week. Nope. They submitted last. When was the 27th? Oh, that was Friday. Okay, no, we're good. Here we go. This is the True Playboy from L.I. Song title is Fake Love, produced by Old Soully. Here we go.
Yo, feel me?
I sure remember his poetry now, because it was so pretty. He was awful good at it. Made up some of his own, too.
I'm eating Chinese food in Mexico. My niggas got it jumping off the Pyrex. I stayed with the Nina, not a side bitch. I used to fall asleep to sounds of crying. If this low touchdown, I'ma fuck the streets up. Never chose the streets chose me. I had to watch closely program to get paper. Proper, I press patience, training my mind racing. Watching niggas get money just made me more hungry. Like it ain't too far if I could touch it. And it ain't too odd to be that lucky. Fussed with the dusted, blunt lit, more trusted. Stunning, never stunning. Poet, refused potion. That's the drink of the stolen land. I'm like a ransom with no demands. My resolve against all odds, I ball with the golden hand. Never had no one to hold the hand. I fell back, hit the ground, you held me up, then I know you mans. Said I'm swimming through the golden sands, and I'm wrapped in these golden chains. Our diamonds are rearranged, and the silence was being paid, and the sirens was bringing pain. Yeah, the pyro, the wicked rain, I could sense the stain. All them feelings of shame, hiding from your forgiveness. Trapping man, fuck a sentence. Wrapped in saran wrap, is it ignorance or repentance? Package of tear crap, is it freedom or is it penance? Try to call me a menace, I'm just misunderstood. Part the whip, the pitch work, that's 2 mil in my hood. What's good? Yeah,
All right. Give it up for the True Playboy, L.I. Fake Love, produced by Old Soully. That was cool.
Yo, Mark, what
Yeah,
up?
they gave me that Griselda
Mark,
feel, you know what I'm saying?
Hit me when you get this and shit, nigga. I'm
Oh,
in
shit, hold up. That was SoundCloud. Keep going. I forgot. SoundCloud just keeps playing stuff.
Yeah, they gave me that Griselda type feel with the beat and everything.
Yeah.
I like that.
Cool.
Y'all said it gave me that Griselda type feel. I was feeling
it. Nice.
Yeah, no drum line. I'm loving that. Very, very melodic. I'm loving that. The lyrics, yo, I don't know what's going on tonight, but everybody, lyrical miracle, yeah, he was spitting. He was definitely spitting. I'm giving it 3 thumbs up.
Nice. He said 3 thumbs. All right. That's what's up. Next up, we've got David J. Blazer with a track here. Let me pull it up. It's called Zoo Woo, Beekeepers of the Zoo Woo by David J. Blazer. Here we go.
Shaheen, nothing me.
He's got permission for this, by the way.
I don't do toe for toe, eye to eye. My little bro, fuck you up, I ain't gonna lie. And just when you're out of breath fighting off the ropes, I jump in the ring like you said you want smoke. And that's why I mind my biz and work smarter. My attitude, don't give a fuck, avoid drama. So meet your new barber, I'm shaping you up, I'm grooming you like you wanna get this money, you what?
Don't threaten me with a good time. Same motivation as Boston George in the movie Blow. Gotta get that dough, you already know where I'm about to go. But peep the lyrical as I enter the realm of the spiritual, slaying demons and deities. The be the fleas that try to put the fear in you. And if that isn't clear to you, maybe it's the beer or two. Anxiety or stress that oppress and in a sense are already killing you. So fuck your feelings, dude. This is truly up to you, so what you gonna do? Meditate, hesitate the anger as I settle down and start to think a little bit more gangster. Chestnut checkers, getting a little bit better each day as I apply myself and make that cheddar.
Don't be a lion in the jungle, be a lion in the zoo. Cause a lion in the jungle always gets shot first. Boom. Don't be a lion in the jungle, be a lion in the zoo.
MCs gon' eat that for breakfast. The rest of history can't copy the chemistry, the energy, the imagery. Don't assault the injury. I put these niggas to sleep in this industry. Rap vigorously, fearlessly, and I take my artistry seriously. Block the block, building stocks, we stacking knots. Drop the top, fuck the cops. Middle finger in the air, yeah, that's what pop. The beam so red, man, we call it Doc. Stop the press, we ain't doing no interviews, we bad news. And cold like igloos, it's written in the ink, that's a Wu-Tang tattoo. Can I get a sue? You know how we do. I was raised by the gladiators, wanted to be like the older guards, not the Power Rangers.
Boom. Don't be a lion in the jungle, be a lion in the zoo.
Boom. Rappers out here lying about the truth, even though his family black thought he was lying about his roots. And these two-faced gangsters out here lying about the truth. If this the stairway to heaven, leave them lying on the stoop. Tony Stark's in his element, got iron in my group. Some people dying, it's evident, I'm iron in my suit. Y'all got gasoline drawers and fire in your boots. I'm firing squad fire, I say fire and they shoot. You sliding on ball ties, just retire and regroup. If the troops are not inspired, my requirements recruit. To my environment's youth, from a general salute. Y'all chasing the clout chasers, that's a trivial pursuit. I'm the type to pay attention and recoup. And any payment from pagans who with Satan I rebuke. I'm the proof that hit them like a fact you can't refute. Don't be a lion in the jungle or be lying in the booth.
Don't be a lion in the jungle, be a lion in the zoo. Cause a lion in the jungle always gets shot first. Boom. Don't be a lion in the jungle, be a lion in the zoo.
All right. I remember he submitted this before. I'll just say the same thing again, man. If you're gonna put yourself next to these legends, you gotta come close with the bars. You sound better, like in general, from what you submitted before. But this type of marketing tactic, people can tell. Do you know what I'm saying? They're familiar with the fact that you could lease verses, you can hop on a track and legally put yourself in between. Like what you did was all legit, but people can tell that they can tell what you did. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just because you've got so many good, amazing, legendary rappers in there with Method Man, Redman, and Shaheem. It's a good marketing tactic, but I don't think you're ready to do that yet, because you really got to get your skills up if you're gonna put yourself next to these legends. You know what I mean? I would probably have just done the verse on the beat and then, build it up. And then once you hit a certain skill set that's close, at least, then you could do that kind of marketing. Because then people will listen to the whole track and be like, yo, who was that second guy? That guy wasn't that bad. You want to get that kind of response. That's just my opinion on it, though. All right. What y'all think?
I'm going to say you hit the nail on the head. It was spot on. Um, he set the bar really high based on the features. And, Redman is a tough act to follow.
Man.
Sandwiching yourself between Red and Meth, yeah, you're gonna have to come with some heat rock. And I do believe he tried. Oh, I'm not gonna say he tried his best. I honestly don't know, but it did leave more to be desired, and that's the most respectful way I can put it. But I am so glad that that AD was really able to give concrete feedback. I like the song in totality, but I could tell that uh, out of these four artists, who the one who was not up to par was. Respectfully, great song though. All the same, I appreciate the video. I appreciate the audio. I'm sorry, excuse me. I appreciate the audio, the visuals, and again, I do think it was a great marketing tactic. Salute.
Yeah. TJ, anything? Are you there? We're not getting an audio feed. I heard a There you go.
You can't hear me?
I can now.
Yo.
There you go.
You hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Skill set, true, but I would go this far. When you're dealing with, it's one thing to be, oh, he's a good rapper. We're talking about legends, pioneers, people who actually created full sounds and stuff, right? When you put yourself between these type of people, you kind of can't win. You get what I'm saying? Like, unless maybe you did a video with them, or like you said, not so much the skill set thing. I would say fans, because there's people that, I'm not gonna say no names, but there's rappers who I feel like can't rap that good, but they still got these features or whatever. But they have followings already. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like if I'm an ODB fan, well, they're both Wu-Tangs. Maybe that's a bad example. If I'm a Nas fan and he got a song with Method Man, what's the first thing you think? Oh shit, Nas and Method, this got to be crazy. It might be even mediocre, but just because it's two big dudes, right? You take it that way. So I would say the pressure you're putting on yourself is to live up to not only the style, you gotta live up to them. That's too much, bro. It's like I tell dudes all the time. I meet dudes, like I'm in LA, right? So everybody and their mama, doing music. So I meet dudes who will be like, man, maybe they hustling, whatever, they in the streets, they getting their money, and they say, I'm finna cash this dude out for a feature. I'm finna pay him 10,000, 20,000. I'd be like, bro, if you don't got a following and a promotion plan and method, how you're gonna do all this, you kind of just flushing the money.
Yeah.
Not because I'm saying, oh, you're just gonna give the money and it's done and over with. It's because you're putting yourself up next to, that's like Crip Jesus featuring Dr. Dre, right? I don't think Dre can rap all that good, but it doesn't matter. It's Dr. Dre. If I don't market this song, or if I don't get on the radio, if I don't do nothing with it, if I don't even look the part, if I'm rolling up all broke, looking crazy, it's not gonna look right because it's Dr. Dre on the song. You see what I'm saying? So you put yourself in this position where I think marketing, but you want to market yourself. You feel me? You don't want to sell me them, because if that's the case, what if I do like it, but I'm such a Method Man fan? I just say, okay, cool, you got some Method Man. That don't mean I'm gonna turn into your fan. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, maybe sample a line or something like that. I get the marketing. I agree with that type of marketing.
Yeah.
Sample a line. Use a theory he used. Like he had Tikal 2000. You might call this Tikal 2025 or something. You know what I mean? Do it like that. But when you put yourself next to him, you put yourself in a cold position. That's like, and that's in anything. We talking about music, but if you even just a player starting out, you stand next to a nigga been a player for 30 years, it ain't gonna look the same. Give yourself a chance.
Yeah. A lot of people can get excited with the ability to market too, because the marketing nowadays is a lot easier compared to how it was back then. But the cool thing about hip hop is that You don't have to go that crazy. Like you can just keep it modest. Like especially with the video, it could be like a mysterious picture of like you looking down with your brim, had your brim down, and then just hold that picture. That way, people aren't distracted by a visual. They can just capture the audio. So I would go minimal as possible. All right, now get that audio right, get your bars right, get your lyrics right, get the delivery right, and get it dope. And then the video could just be a still picture. And then that way people can just listen to the audio, appreciate the audio, and be like, oh, okay, cool, this is cool. Once you got the audio going and people are like liking that, then you can start adding visuals. You can start doing music videos and stuff like that.
Crumb,
yeah,
can I say one thing before you go?
Yep.
Despite, contrary to popular belief, I know everybody say, "Oh, music is just whatever." Right now, it's probably one of the most lyrical times. I'm just like, "What? Did you really just say that?" Yes. Right now, with the internet, you have access to so many artists, so many sounds, and it's not a coincidence that people like Kendrick Lamar are considered the top right now. J. Cole right now. Right now, you can make a song. You couldn't do this back in the 90s and 80s, really, or get that much clout. Make a song just rapping the whole song. You get that a lot now. Back in the 90s, where's the hook at?
Yeah.
That's why they say what they say now. It's a new term they use a lot. Go crazy. Go crazy. People want to hear you put your heart in this, damn near throw up.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? Kill every bar. You can do a cappella, really, if you got to. Like, right now is the time to, as they say, gas out. Straight up.
Yep.
That's gonna save you more than anything.
And know your target demographic.
Yes.
Like who you trying to appeal to?
That's the most important thing. Yeah. Know your demographic on the internet for sure.
Yeah. Like who is this song being catered to? Who am I targeting? Where like Weekend would be targeting the females or something like that. Or if you're targeting the club, it's a club vibe. Underground. Know that target. It's like niche marketing. If you know about niche, find your niche. There's a niche genre. Okay. All in all, still great submissions. Hold on a second. I think we got another one. Did I play this one already? Hold on. We got another David J. Blazer track. Okay, here we go.
Oh no. Oh no. No. Not again. Not again. Not again. Where's this shit gonna end? Where's this gonna end? It's not gonna end. Shit's just getting started. Daily departed, yeah. I smoke myself till I'm full retarded. Jump on the scythe, start throwing darts. As your bitch ass is so hard, the impact make you do a backflip just like this. I don't give a fuck about a stupid ass bitch. I grab his tits, give him a twist. When you scream, I'm like, fuck your shit. Run up on you, what the fuck you thinking? I hit your ass up. You can't handle this, scandalous motherfucker from Southside Los Angeles. I got my backpack for the flat black with the fat cats getting spots on the wall. Y'all never saw my style of writing. It's like my murder. I be striking just like lightning. Y'all didn't see me. I come through like this, like see me with the valley of the shadow of death. I don't give a fuck. Beat your ass to death. Give your flesh the ripple effect. I don't give a fuck. I disrespect motherfuckers as I disconnect heads from their neck. Not giving a fuck like what?
All right. Wow. What are you mad at, really? I don't think you're even mad. It sounds like you're trying to be mad, but I don't believe you. I don't think you're mad at all. But, hey, you're experimenting, and that was kind of a freestyle all over the place. What else can I say? I say you were holding some type of beverage there. I'm assuming that was apple cider. I don't know. What y'all think?
I think he I think whatever he was trying to express, he expressed it in a creative, loose, fun way where he was just having fun. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I know that some people when they approach music, they approach it as a serious art form, and others when they approach it with a spirit of just enjoying it. And maybe he wasn't mad, maybe he was just having fun.
Yeah.
And that's just me being as nice as possible. I think in terms of a music critic, there's more to be desired. But in terms of, just a guy having fun on the mic, that's the nicest thing I can say. But yes, out of the thumbs, I'm going to give him no thumbs up, but I'm not going to give any thumbs down.
All right. Crip Jesus, anything?
Yeah, that actually scared me, man. I don't, I'm scared to meet that man. I don't know what, I don't know if he gonna. Yeah, that scared me.
Yeah,
that was he was uncaught. He might just fly off the handle. And I'm just
it feels rushed. I think he's just excited to put stuff out, excited to market it, quick to throw things together, and
it feels violent.
Yeah. You got to take your time, listen back to your, what you just recorded, listen back to that, and be like, do I really like this? How can I improve? You know what I mean? You want to be better every single day, so go back, listen to the track, and what Priest would probably mention is like to make sure you don't submit it until you feel like it's done. You know what I mean? Because you probably know that you can do better on that. I think because we've heard better from you from that. You know what I mean? But he likes the high energy. He's trying things out, see what works. I probably wouldn't have gone that loud on that beat. That beat I probably would have been like a little more chill. Yeah, and focus on your wordplay and your words, and start writing in like poetry format with the stanzas. Do 16 bars, and end it. Okay. Let me double check to see if there's anything other submissions for today. This might be a short show for the song promos. Yep, that's all I got for today. So let's see. Let me check my email just in case, because sometimes people will be asking me through email some questions. Let's see. Nope. Okay, so it looks like this concludes. Hold on, let me double check my Instagram. Hold on a second. You never know. Maybe sometimes on Instagram we get us a question. Double check it. Nope, that is it. All right, so thanks to everybody who submitted tracks for the song promotion segment. We're going to do it again tomorrow. Priest will be in the building, so that'll be cool. But shout out to CrumbTV and Crip Jesus for that cool Giants presentation.
And let me say this too.
Go ahead.
Though we mix it with entertainment and we have fun and we keep it lighthearted. I know Crumb. And this ain't just about saying, hey, you want to know this? The point is the origin, the unknown, right? These are the things that we go towards when we get off the known, the regular, the repetitive autopilot life that they got us living every day. Like some people said in the chat, they got giants here right now, us. You feel what I'm saying? When we clean our DNA, we are sleeping giants. Wake up.
That's a good way to put it. Sleeping giants. All right. Crumb, any final words?
As always, I want to express the utmost sincerity and gratitude. So I'll start by putting some respect on Killah Priest's name. Shout out to Killah Priest. I'm humbled. I'm honored. Killah Priest has a new album out. I was in the comments and some people were saying this new album from Killah Priest, I think he may have outdone himself, meaning it may be better than Heavy Mental, which is a timeless classic.
Ooh.
Killah Priest is doing the impossible and he's outdoing himself. So I want to give high honors and perfect praise to Killah Priest. Come on, that's right.
Yep.
I want to say thank you. I am most gracious to AD. He's always coming through, adding value, positive energy, working the boards. I want to give acknowledgement to the pod class, but we know that you are the craft room. So shout out to everybody in the comments, good, bad, and indifferent. Much respect to the moderators. I see a lot of y'all going in a good way. And also to Crip Jesus. Crip Jesus is a heck of a wingman. He is, he's been 10 toes down, A1 since day one. Put some respect on his name. He is a brilliant mind. In addition to that, he is also a talented artist. So, not only do I want to point him out in terms of his Heavy Mental, but go and check some of his music out as well. I give you my word, you will not be, you will not regret it. Last but not least, I am your humble brother Crumb, the master student. I just reached 105,000 followers on Facebook. It's a totally different vibe on Facebook. I am ultra goofy over there. It's ultra light. It's all types of stuff like that. I'm less than 500 subscribers away from the 50,000 mark here on YouTube. So please, please, please consider giving me a subscribe over here. And I just want to leave everybody the exact same way I came to you. In peace. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Nice. And I got all the links in the description for everybody too. So we are all set there. All right. So that concludes today's show, and we'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.
My fingers slipped through Solomon's grip. I was swallowed into a bottomless pit, going down through the rocks from a cliff. Though the darkness wasn't the worst of it, as the curses eclipsed, I saw spots in the Gothic were lit, going down the throat of black smoke, into a moat that covered my face and my back like a coat. I'm in its bowels with owls, and men that wrapped their head with towels, and spoke the Talmud, the owls screamed loud too. I'm in his guts, I see skeletal forms, endless tusk, the winds are rough, a gust bends me up. My view is now in the spiral, confused as I go up in the cycle, circular, 6 dimensions, my body light up. I'm a Merkaba, positive, negative in my messages. I thought the worst occurred. Soon as I lay the verse in the beat, it becomes a 12-person word. I risen from the beast's digestive system. I resurrect with wisdom when I connect with rhythm. I see Solomon hands appearing closer as I reach, coming from debris with composure. Behind me looks like debris from explosives or planets that nova. That's when I got the grip, he pulled me over. As he pulled, he slipped, my hand still in his grip. He tumbled to the edge of the canyon, his body dipped. I said, I got you, hold on, we both pulling so strong. Then he tapped me on the back of my shoulder, asked me what's wrong, asked me why I'm leaning over the canyon. I look again, I'm holding on my other hand like a companion. I said, wait, something not right. It went left, let's get this straight. As he curved the conversation, it could drive you to a place. I backed up shop, bouncing in my mind. A lie sends you mistakes. Food for thought, read it on the plate. Since Adam, Eve, and the snake, evil deeds inflated like a cake. Superstition, religion became a business. Truth is fiction, changed from old, new editions. Youth offenders new to prison. Sign up to the system. Line up, choose a witness. We lose due to fitness. We chew with a vengeance. No clues for the sickness. Cold flu so suspicious. Mom brew hibiscus. A song that she knew, a stew or twist of citrus. Esau's the author of my free fall of torture. Evils and horror. Eagles guard the borders. Energy has a sequel. Cerebral's getting stronger. The mummified hands try to grab me. The son of I am. Jagged stone streaming past me. Abraxas reading Simha Paroma. Galaxy above my head holding my diploma. Graduated, not encapsulated. A lot infatuated with my greatness. Most of y'all favorites, I'll keep it basic.